What's a good topic for tonight?
What is up, y'all? We're back for another round of the Friday night shenanigans. Can you go ahead and go on your phone, make sure that we got some audio?
Yep.
I'm on it.
And we're going to put on a little music here, wait for some peeps to join up in here, and then we're going to get to talking.
Yes.
Okay, it's working.
Very loudly.
Well, that's working. Yep. There we go.
Why is that so freaking loud?
There it is.
What up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? What up, Morgan?
Bob said he's. I was gonna say turn it down. I'm getting old.
Old.
You're not old.
Don't talk to Murph that way.
Old.
If he's old, I'm old. I think we're the same age.
I'd be scared of Murph.
Yeah, he looks like he could like pop my head off like a fucking dandelion head.
What is going on, everybody? We're hanging out. Tonight is another episode of Just Us Pissing into the Wind.
And we need to turn the music off.
Oh, I was about to drop. But we're back. We don't really have a whole lot of topics tonight, honestly. We're just going to have a conversation, listen to what you guys have to say, and then go from there. So sometimes it's relaxing and it's nice to not do a bunch of prep work for some of these, because you'd be surprised at how much research and prep goes into a lot of these conversations. It seems like it flows easy, but I mean, between the three of us, we're always looking stuff up and trying to figure out what we're going to bring here on Fridays. So
a lot more goes into this than people think.
I just want to apologize to Mr. Murphy for saying he's as old as I am, because apparently he's younger than me.
Ouch.
Murph's 39.
Yeah.
All right. I got
him by a few years.
I have a topic, and I feel like we've talked about this before.
I wish. First, I feel like we need to find the video of Trey McKinney's boat getting swamped.
Oh my god,
that was pretty crazy.
That was insane.
Find that.
That was pretty crazy. Mike, all right. So I want to start this conversation off tonight and talk about the Eastern Shore just a little bit, right?
Why?
Because
I feel like we've talked about it a lot.
We have, and we talked about how it sucks. But in a month or two, really a month and a half, it's going to be maybe even as much as a month to 2 months. It's going to be at its best.
What are you considering the Eastern Shore?
Chop tank and down.
Okay.
So
like Chester down.
So
yeah, Chester down. Yep.
I'm gonna swap over to scene 2 really quick. Check this out. This is Trey McKinney's boat getting annihilated at the boat ramp. Like completely swamped, obviously. He's standing there just like completely hopeless.
You can tell like when
he's just
up.
giving up.
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
Yeah,
That was the WTF, I messed up.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
Apparently he did get it back on the trailer and he did get it pulled out. Oh my gosh, just getting annihilated. That's just terrible.
You just got to winch it up.
Yeah.
Just winch it.
That's the only thing you can do right
I
there.
have no idea. Like he doesn't even know what to do right now. Look, his boat's oh my god, his boat is sideways.
I mean, it's almost on the trailer.
I mean, at that point, I wouldn't even care.
Okay,
I would
like-
just freaking hook it up and pull it out.
Does he run an Icon?
No, it's a basket.
Okay. What's going on, John? John with JCS Marines up in the house.
John.
Always appreciate you joining, man.
What is this?
No, we're back in the... Sorry. That was weird.
What?
Oh, no,
What just happened?
I don't know. We were rocking out for a second there. Anyway, so we're going to go back to it here. But yeah, so...
Just the random breakdown. Like,
right. So my question is, we know what the Eastern Shore rivers are capable of, or lack thereof. But when they're good, when they're like at their best in about a month, what do you think a good team tournament bag on? Let's just start at the Chester and work our way down.
18 pounds.
Okay, and that's
Not at Chester.
Not in the Chester.
I have no experience on the Chester, so I can't really speak for that. And there's not that many tournaments that get held on the Chester. I know of 20-pound bags that came out of the Chester.
Like in the wintertime?
No, springtime.
Oh, okay. Team tournaments though, right?
No, actually, that was a club tournament.
Wow. Yeah. And we know that dude stayed local. I mean, it's a hell of a run.
He was in Chester.
Okay. It's pretty cool, actually.
Chop tank, 17, 18 pounds is going to be a good bag.
I would agree. I'd say 15 would be 15 or higher.
Our Bass Nation tournaments, aside from the last 2 out of the last 3, it's in an individual tournament, it's taken 16 or 17.
Oh wow, okay.
And that was in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be 17, 18 pounds. I would say 16, 17 on the Nanacoke.
Is there any that we missed in the middle?
No.
Because it is a pretty big gap.
No, not really.
Yeah, in terms of you can hold a tournament there and stay there all day with a decent amount of boats. You can't do that with the Chickamaucomico, Transquake, and it's just too shallow.
Yeah. So then you go to, the one in Salisbury.
Wacomico. I've heard that's got the biggest fish, concentration of big fish.
It doesn't have a lot of fish, but it does have good quality fish. And then you have the Pocomoke. And I have talked to somebody who fishes the Eastern Shore a lot, who, not in a tournament, but had a 20-pound bag in the Pocomoke.
Yeah, the biggest bag I've ever heard of that came out of the Pocomoke ever was back in, I think, the 80s, and I think it was 26, 27 pounds. And they all of his fish were over 5. He didn't have any giants, but they were all 5s. Which again, that's back in the day. Now, I did hear, interestingly enough, that back in the 70s, the chop tank was so good. But they just started having bad spawns, and it seems like it never really recovered from that, from what I can tell.
So if you really want to get a handle on the chop tank, follow the Delaware TBF. Follow their results, because that tells you how it really fishes, because those are the guys that fish it all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of you could say the same thing about Conowinga. So many clubs will go up there once or twice a year and it sucks. And then the opens, north of 18 pounds pretty much all year, which is, a kind of a similar deal.
In case we have any random questions.
Oh, nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know why it's not better. Just when the whole Chester River down, I don't know why it's not better, especially when you go to the James River and it's awesome. You go to the Chickahominy River and it's awesome. You go to the
what's up, East Coast IV? Thanks for joining, fellas. Thank you for supporting Bass and Beer Radio.
Even the Appomattox River and the York River down towards the James have good fish in them. And they set up very very similar. So I'm curious as to why our Eastern Shore rivers are just shit fisheries.
We get multiple 25-pound bags
in a tournament on the Upper Bay. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, in a late tournament too.
Yeah,
we had a July tournament last year with 2 26-pound bags in July.
Yeah.
And then there were, it was just stacked behind that.
Yeah.
Our title order up here, the chick down there definitely has
monsters,
overall bigger fish, but the potential for a much bigger bag is down there. But as far as the number of big bags, the Upper Bay is just stupid.
Yeah, it's.
I'll I think I've said this before. I was fishing a tournament up here. Was kind of struggling throughout the day. Managed to scrap up a little over 18 pounds. Thought, okay, maybe, like we might have a shot at
Might
something.
be in it.
Yeah, I was 27th place.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
18 and change was good enough for 27th place.
Remember our original thing when we first started on here?
15 pounds ain't shit.
15 pounds ain't shit.
It's not. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, now 2 years
18
ago,
pounds wasn't shit that day.
2 years ago, the Bay fished really tough earlier in the year. Remember that when it was like taking like 16, 17 pounds to win tournaments? I think that was the year when your river rats, there was only like 2 or 3 limits brought in.
That was that spring river rats tournament we got like an unusual cold snap because I remember it was like 25 degrees when we launched that morning.
Yeah.
Which is very cold for that time of year, and the water temperature dropped out. But I remember.
What's up, Zach?
I won an October tournament in the Northeast one year, me and Mike Powers, and I had 17 and a quarter. Mm-hmm. It was a Friday tournament and didn't have a ton of boats, but I mean, it took 17 and a quarter to win. And that was probably, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now, like it's stupid. Like if you don't have at least 20, you're not even sniffing a check.
Yeah. I was really hoping we were going to see. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone out there fished the Wingos this year, but I don't think we saw a 20-pound bag this year up there. We saw some 18s. We saw some 19s.
I thought I thought one of the first ones was 20, or was that the year before?
I don't.
Oh,
the 20s always came in the fall.
It was Fishers and Men. Fishers and Men had.
Oh, I get a chance to do it again.
Is that a team tournament?
Yeah, I think they had over 20.
How long ago was that? I don't remember that.
Last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was Tom Rufinalt.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Largemouth? Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, it's in there. It's definitely, it's 100% in there. It's, I don't know. It's just because the lake opens up midway through June, the time window to catch that 20-pound bag up there is very small.
Well, I don't think it's, I don't know. I guess.
Beer.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like.
Anybody need one?
I'm good.
If anybody could catch a 20-pound summertime bag up there, it would be Herb, who spends the most time up. I'm just saying that because, he spends more time up there than anyone that I know. And if he's not catching them, then it's probably not very feasible.
Not this last year, but the year before, we saw a number of 20-pound bags in the fall, but they were largemouth bags, which was pretty cool.
That same year, there were multiple 20-pound bags in the first couple tournaments too.
Was it? I don't think I fished them that year.
Yeah, you did.
I?
Yeah, because that was the year me and you fished them. That was when.
Oh, but we didn't fish them all though. I don't think I fished the first couple.
That was when they were chucking the A rigs off the island.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Big Dave got all mad at?
Oh, I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Because somebody,
rightfully so. I mean,
somebody fucking whole buzzard him.
Yeah, I remember that. My thing with that place is in the summer, like it just doesn't. It doesn't have the smallmouths just aren't big enough. I mean, like in the summer, a 3.5-pound smallmouth up there is a really good fish. Because those fish, they are just long and skinny. I mean, that water gets so hot, and they just the large population of those fish, they don't get deep enough to find water that's considerably colder enough for them to stay fat all year. That's my theory with the place.
I think there's a population of fish up there that hasn't really been discovered yet.
That could be, yeah. I would agree with that
on the lower end.
On the winger?
Yeah,
I would say that, but I also would say that
I think it's going to be found very. I think it's going to be found very soon. I don't think it's going to hide very long.
No, but I don't think you're going to. I think you're going to find them one day and not find them the next day. Like I think those fish move so much down that end that you might find them one day and you might not find them the next day. I agree with you. I think that there are like those fish that are just chasing bait. They're not on nothing, but they're just chasing bait and they move a lot. Like
Free
they move
roamers.
big time.
I mean, it's just going to be able. You're just gonna have to
Put your head down and fish for them.
identify the conditions that locates that bait. It's really what it comes down to. When you get like a good wind, that is going to push the bait to one side to really narrow it down versus it spreading out all over the place. But yeah, I think I really do think there's a big population of offshore.
What's up,
fish out
Josh?
there
Thanks
that
for joining, brother.
that we
Steve,
just
what's
can't-
up, Steve?
I think there's
nobody's really found. You know what I mean?
I think there's a big population of largemouth that are pelagic as well. That
Steve
no one
says the
has found.
kayaks are going to take over. They're going to find them.
Maybe.
Nah,
The problem is like where I think
I
these
severely
fish
doubt
are.
it. They can't cover enough water.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be pedaling the whole time to find these things. It's just they just move so much, and like, I found 15 to 17 pounds. Now, I will say one of my best days out there this year, me and Travis had a little bit over 20. I think we had 21 and change in July, but they pulled up shallow.
Right.
And they were, and it was an evening, so whatever. And that place is notably better in the evening. But all of those that bag was anchored by largemouth as well. I mean, there were 2 largemouth and there were over 5. So it, and all the smallmouth were 3s, the heavy 3s.
A lot of the bags that come out of there that are going to win are anchored by largemouth a lot of the times.
Depends on the time of year, really.
Yeah, but
Once you get into like mid-October on, it's all smallmouth.
Right.
but you can find some good largemouth in there. I mean, it's a thing.
Our November tournament, or when River Rats had when we had our open up there for a few years.
What's up, Tom?
We had, that was the first week in November, and the guys who won that, it was 5 largemouth, and they had, I want to say they had 19 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in there. I mean, and they're always going to be heavier, but there are, like you're saying, that November, December, December too. Really, October through December, the smallmouth are going to go a long way. But if you can find those largemouth, they're going to be big ones, which is neat. I mean, they're there. They're just not as many. I do think the fishery itself is improving. I think the largemouth fishing has gotten better and better over the years. We've seen more of them.
It'd be better if the milfoil came back.
Yeah.
That lack of milfoil, I think, has really hurt that largemouth population.
What's up, Russ?
I don't know that it's hurt them. I think that they just moved, and I think with live scope we found more of them.
When you lose grass like that, I mean, you're losing fish because there's not as much quality spawning area. They're spawning in that grass, so your population is going to decrease. So I think that's why you've seen the largemouth population decrease and the smallmouth population increase, because of the lack of grass.
I will say that's a place where you can go in the summer, really any time of year that's somewhere it's not dead ass cold, and just whack a bunch of fish. I mean, it's always good. Really,
it's always good. A good place to go to get some bites.
It was
Turns
never
on a
like
little
that
bit
for me.
earlier than out on the bay. The smallmouth like that colder water a little bit. Now, the smallmouth, do you think they spawn a little bit earlier?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
that,
I found a couple spots that I think they're going to spawn on this year.
Smallmouth spawning temperature is like
55
to 62 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit colder. It's like 5 to 7 degrees cooler.
So the beginning of the largemouth spawn is usually like at the very end of the smallmouth spawn.
Mm-hmm.
But it really depends. I've caught pre-spawn smallmouth in the lower Susquehanna in May. They were just setting up the spawn. That's when I obliterated them. I had like 23 pounds of smallmouth one day.
Sounds like they're going to be starting to...
And they were definitely pre-spawn.
Sounds like they're going to be starting to move here very, very soon. Now, I don't know what the temperature is up on Conowingo.
The lower Susquehanna is cold as shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
All that shit coming down from Pennsylvania, New York, all that stuff.
All that ice melt.
Yep.
No, I have never fished above Holtwood. Not from a boat, anyway.
No.
I've fished above Holtwood.
They're there.
Waiting, but
You got to know what you're doing up there with a boat.
you really need it. So above Holtwood, whatever that lake is called,
Aldred.
Aldrin. That's really a jet boat lake. There's another lake above that.
Clark.
That's bass boatable.
Nice. Where did he even find that emoji? That's what I want to know.
Jim, dude. Jim, are you on here, brother?
Right.
But
Right.
so Clark, you can run your boat, but you also there's like you got to know what you're doing a little bit once you go north of the ramp. But you can run a boat. I stopped by it one day. I was driving past and just took a look, and there was a whole bunch of guys that were running bass boats and fishing. So it's doable, but it's like it's like Conowingo. I mean, if you kind of got to pick your poison. If you want to fish Conowingo, go fish Conowingo. If you want to fish Clark, go fish Clark. They're not going to really, from what I understand, from what I've been told from some of the guys that fish them, they don't really translate except in the fall. In the fall, you can do the same stuff, but in the summer they fish different.
Is Clark the one? Is Clark where 3 Mile Island is?
I think that's above. The other word for Clark is long level, is what some of the local guys call it, long level dam or long level, whatever it's called. But I mean, it's a pretty neat lake. It's a lot shallower than Conowingo. From what I've been told, there's a lot more grass. So if you like to frog or whatever, they say that's a good place to go and frog. When I was there, I was just standing on the bank checking out the lake, and there were guys catching decent smallmouth on blade baits in like December, like literally right off the ramp. So that was kind of neat. But yeah, you can run the boat, but they tell you got to be pretty careful, just for what the place is. I mean, it's a Susquehanna River lake. There's large rocks, there's flats, and there's really no rhyme or reason as to why there's stuff.
Bass and Dylan says you're thinking of Goldsboro.
Yeah, there you go. Goldsboro, not Long Level.
What's up, Greg?
Long Level is way farther north.
Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it.
Or you're thinking of York Haven.
York Haven.
That's below 3 Mile Island.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with any of these smaller lakes up north.
Yeah, Clark is the one that's right above Aldred, and Clark is the one that you can run a boat on. But again, I don't know anything about it, and it's a cool place to go and fish just to have a new lake to learn and stuff like that. But for what it is, I mean, it's at the point where like every minute you spend on Lake Clark, you can just say, well, why didn't you just spend that time on Conowingo? Unless you want to go learn a new place and just to do it.
Change the scenery up, man. Sometimes you just have to change the scenery. Was he just eating a toothpick?
Yes. He just
Nice.
literally walked around, went directly to it, picked it up, and started walking away.
Bubba Doo.
I would say, I don't know. I would say, I mean, from what I understand now, interestingly enough, the same guys that run the tournaments on the Conowingo Opens do run a tournament series out of Lake Clark. I don't know what the results look like, but they say when it's on, it's actually a little bit better, but it fishes tougher more. But when it's on, it is better.
What's up, Lou? Lou in the house.
Nothing beats Lake Anna hot
The
side.
Lake Anna hot side is a good time, man. It's just a party. Party hardy.
Lake Anna hot side is a lot of fun.
Catch a crap ton of fish.
I look forward to that every single year.
Drink a
when I'm
crap ton of
doing hot
beer.
side. Crap ton of beer, crap ton of fish.
Catch 'em
eat a
however
crap
you
ton of
want.
Mexican food.
Yeah, you catch them however you want down there. That's the fun thing. And it's in February. It's like, I'm going to go throw a spook all day in February. Cool.
It's one of them bodies of water. You go down there and you just want to work on a specific technique. You can just do it.
Yep.
And gain some confidence in it. So I thought that was cool. Obviously, I stuck to my comfort. Well, it wasn't really the comfort stuff, but I wanted to crank fish out of deep water, so that's what we did a lot of times.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Summer sausage Lou in the house. I'll never forget that episode. That was rowdy.
I really tried to catch them hanging a mini in it. I call it my biggest one doing that, but that just wasn't the dominant pattern. You had to look way too long to find them, in my opinion. Whereas I could go to the bank and throw a crankbait and glue it to my hands and just whack them.
You probably weren't looking deep enough.
Probably not. Probably not.
All the ones that I caught on a minnow when we were down there in February were in like 50 feet of water.
Yeah. I'd call it.
Were
like,
they
just
actually down at the
stupid.
50-foot level?
No, they were
No, they were
suspended like 15 to 18.
Okay.
And they weren't close to bait like you would think they were either. They were around bait, like relatively.
Yeah, they were near bait, but not like on bait. But yeah, it was. They were much deeper than I expected them to be.
I just think that proves that there's just fish that are always offshore doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go. I mean, maybe not the Upper Bay, but maybe. I mean, who knows? Like who's to say that there's not populations of bass that hang out in the main channel that everybody runs?
What is the primary bait for, Janana?
Shed.
Yeah, gizzard shad.
Gizzard shad.
Because it's not threadfin, right? It's definitely gizzard.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of smaller bait in there. I don't know. I don't know if those massive schools are bait or gizzard or if there's redfin. To be honest,
They're not alewives, right?
no, they're definitely shad. I mean, unless it's just massive schools of baby gizzards.
Well, it would make sense. I mean, if as hot as that water is, they would be smaller this time of year because they probably have already spawned instead of, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. All I know is it's a fun ass place to fish. You don't burn a whole lot of gas in your boat unless you have an XB like I do. Then you burn a ton anyway.
Be cool to figure some shit out over on the freaking cold side.
You gotta put
Some
the time in.
giant fish over on the cold side. That's a. I mean, I know in like retrospect, other lakes like it's not a big lake, but that's a big lake.
It's bigger
It
than.
would take a lot of time to cover.
It's definitely
up the whole
bigger.
lake.
Definitely bigger than what we're used to.
Yeah,
I think it fishes
up
bigger
here.
than the Upper Bay.
I would have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But the upper bay.
definitely.
I mean, the upper bay is it's not. The upper bay is not that big.
No.
Um,
I would say
And it's
I would
definitely
say it doesn't fish quite as big as the Potomac, but it's in between the Potomac and the Upper Bay.
the Potomac. I mean, the Potomac fish is so big.
What up, Lanny?
I mean, it's. Especially if you talk about like all the way to like Nanjamoy, from like Nanjamoy to DC.
Oh, yeah.
that's a long way. I mean, that's like I think it's like 65 miles.
Yeah, it's a movement.
Do me a big favor, everybody. If you're watching the stream right now, hit that like button and the share button if you haven't already.
Oh, what?
Hit that
JCS crew want to join a Lake Anna trip?
Dude, 100%.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
We got you.
awesome.
We will
need to
make
do
that happen, John.
Yeah, yeah. Put
It's-
it on. We need to have Morgan come up for that. We need to get JCS down there for that. Get the whole freaking shebang bang going on. That'd be freaking awesome. No shebanging while we're on Lake Anna.
Morgan, I fished cur once, or bugs, depending on if you're from there or if you're not from there. I've never fished Gaston.
Gaston's supposed to be way better than Kerr, from what I've heard.
Cur, I fished it one time and it was very tough.
Mark Galicki with the old MG General Services. Shout out to MG General Services. My buddy does some exquisite bathrooms, kitchen remodels. Freaking fantastic work. Check him out.
Like Lou said, when you got to find the specific things on the cold side that they hang on, it's a lot of water to cover. When you're essentially looking for brush piles
Yeah.
and trying to find brush piles. Potomac teams in the morning, yes sir. I'm glad the weather forecast changed for you, because when I checked I was gonna go down. I have a tournament next weekend on the Potomac. I was gonna go down tomorrow and practice a little bit, and I decided not to, because when I checked yesterday, they were calling for 37-mile-an-hour gusts from the south.
That'll be fun. That'll be
Now
really
it
fun.
is dropped to 20.
That's still going to suck, but it's not nearly as bad as 37.
What's the drive down to the Potomac?
Depends on where you launch. If you
Hour
go
and a
to,
half.
if you go to, if you're going to Smallwood, it's hour 45. If you're going to like Fort Washington or whatever, it's like an hour 15.
It would
hour
suck
20.
to go 2 hours away and get there and it just be blowing its ass off.
That's
and
that's pretty.
It's pretty much what happened to me last weekend.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens every
And
time
you
you go to the
fished, didn't you?
Potomac.
Huh?
Did you fished, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I still ran. I mean, I still ran around to like Belmont and stuff.
See,
I
that
just got my-
shit'll break my boat in half. So I
I thought it was
going to
break
that.
I thought it was gonna break my boat in half. It was bad Sunday.
Dude.
Sunday.
3-footers.
There were some bigger. There were some 4+.
Yeah, the Potomac
Dude,
just
you're
gets
riding those
disgusting.
bitches at that
It was
point.
it was bucking the tide. There's no riding them. They're not far enough apart.
Yep. And they're like weirdly spaced, so you
Yeah.
you can't really get a good speed going or trim going to where you can just cruise. You gotta. It sucks.
Yeah, it was around noon. It was the wind was blowing against the tide, and
Oh yeah, that's
it
the
was
best.
just it was gnarly.
Put it this way. When I was running, when we had a tournament on the Potomac last year, and we weighed in early because the wind forecast was getting bad. And when I was running in from Belmont to Leesylvania, it was like maybe 2.5 to 3 foot, but it wasn't really rollers. It was more chop. So I was able to get on top of it and run like 50 miles an hour. And dude, every screw on my decket mount was like halfway out. God. It was insane. Like my troll tamer,
Dude,
loose.
that shit will ruin your.
That's why you don't.
It's so hard on your stuff.
If at all possible, when you do it like an over the pedal mount like that, 3-bolt it.
Oh yeah, I learned that lesson. I did that with the bullet. Definitely
take
through
the
both of it.
especially when you have a trolling motor, like when you put a tray in, a pedal tray.
Yep.
Because then you have all the access in the world.
This is I live to break my boat in half.
Yeah, there's zero rhythm to it. Like if you could get into a rhythm on it, like it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I have down there. I mean, I was running back from Aquia one day, and it wasn't like
Lou, I can't
terrible.
remember. I know I asked you. Does your boat have the air ride seats on it? Lou's Vexus? I think it does. That thing is sweet. That would sweeten the ride at any time.
Who did I? I heard somebody say the other day that they were talking about. I think they were talking about icons or something. And about it was somebody talking about icons, and they said these you have these other manufacturers. If they put they say they have such a good ride, but then they put air ride seats in them, so maybe they don't have such a good ride.
To just have a nice seat to ride on. But
will you fishing Potomac teams tomorrow? Good luck, man. Tell Boots I said hi.
I want to ride in Lou's boat.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I don't think you got it. Hold up. You gotta
Crack it.
crack it first. So
Oh.
there isn't that much. And now you take this, put it on the back of the tab.
Oh, no shit.
See how it grabs the tab
Yeah.
for you?
That makes more sense. And then I'm going to cut my tongue in half. Just kidding.
Nope.
It's actually smooth.
There is no sharp edges with this thing. We're not sponsored by them, but I'm going to be reaching out to them. This is the old draft top. Where it takes the top right off the beer can. Smooth edged. Can't cut yourself. It's freaking awesome. Drinks more like a draft. It's very nice.
Lenny, what kind of boat are you driving? I can't remember.
Yeah, I still got to try to get the bullet and some nasty stuff and just learn how to handle that. Because I haven't been able to. I've been focused on trying to run the shit out of it and learning how to run it with that kind of stuff going on.
You know what I did in the Skeeter? I waited till they were calling for 30-mile-an-hour winds and just went outside the bridge.
Nice.
Like, what's
up, Bunky?
Bugs?
Glad to have you, brother.
Wait, come on, man.
Did he just
Not
bust
over here.
ass?
Did he just fart on you?
Yeah, not over here.
Oh, God.
Oh God! Now he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just waited till one day when they were like just the worst wind forecast possible, and I was like, all right, and I went out and I drove all around in between Dundee and the bridge, and in probably, put it this way, over by APG, I came, like. I was kind of like quartering into them, and like I came over one and went down into the other, and all I saw around me was fucking water.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's the probably the most uncomfortable that I've been in a bass boat. It was big that day.
I would say the most uncomfortable I've ever been.
It was only for a second.
I would say the most uncomfortable I've ever been for like a long period of time was that SQT out of Dundee. That one was bad enough, and then the one when I fished the Open in 2018 on Kentucky Lake, it was blowing north, and that was pretty miserable.
Was that the college?
Yep.
Your college tour?
3 boats actually sank during that tournament. I
Yeah.
saw one of them. Sink. It was pretty ridiculous.
I would say the worst ride would probably be the Solstice last year. But I never felt so like sketched out. It just sucked.
Was that worse than the SQT?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
When you got out closer to the shipping channel, there were like 5-footers out there.
Yeah, it sucks.
It was gnarly. I didn't hit anything that big because I stayed closer over to APG. But I mean we were legitimately going through 4-footers, and
Still on plane or just kind of cruising?
we were doing like 50 mile an hour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were getting the shit beat out of us. We had almost 10 pounds. We were trying to get back.
Was it worse going up or going back?
Coming back.
Was it?
Yeah, it was blowing against the tide coming back.
Yeah, that always makes
we
it
had
worse.
we had like 9 something, so we figured we had a chance at a check. So I was pushing it literally as hard as I could on the way back, and we got beat to hell. But I drove the shit out of that boat that night.
Drove the freaking poop out of it.
I drove the poop out of it. I mean,
That's
we never got wet.
I think you got a good running boat.
We didn't get wet the entire way. Didn't
Remember when
spear
we
any.
went-
Didn't. Yeah.
Remember when we went to go pick up your boat and you hadn't even seen it yet?
Yeah.
You didn't even know what it was going to look like.
I mean, I saw pictures,
Kind of, sort of.
but I knew what I
It was
wanted.
better. It was just better in person.
Oh my
I love
God,
when
it was
that
so much-
happens.
it
It was
was
so
so
much
much
better
better.
in person.
How
I
does-
walked into their like garage bay, and I was like,
Oh, I was staring at you. I was like, yeah, I got to see what Paul's reaction is when he sees his boat. His freaking mouth just dropped. He's like, oh shit.
So does Skeeter have a like? What's Skeeter's reputation with in terms of rough ride? Like, is it like among the top of the top? Because I know for a long time, I mean,
say so.
obviously Champion had a great reputation for it. Ranger had a good reputation
Skeeter's
for it.
had
For
a
long
very good
time.
reputation for a very long time with their boats.
But they're like,
where he's talking specifically rough water.
yeah, but like, I mean, when you get
So-
old timers talking about, this is the best rough riding boat ever. It's like, I mean, really, it's Champion, the 522 Ranger, and honestly, a lot of guys say Allison. I don't know if I believe that, but some guys say that. There are guys that are like, the 22-foot, the 2110 Bullets up there. I couldn't tell
I can
you.
see the speedboats and the fast bass boat hauls doing decent in rough water, probably because they're a little bit more narrow.
You can
They
just stay on
cut-
top
they,
of
They
it.
just cut better.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
you
but
don't slam.
On top of that, you're
Lighter?
They're so much lighter, which is a
Right.
bad thing. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're gonna get pushed around, but instead of
is
plowing
John
through the water.
John from JCS still on her? Did you guys sell that center console Bullet? That thing sell yet?
So George at Susquehanna Fishing Tackle told me, we were talking about fishing Champlain, like, and if you had to make the run to Ticonderoga, if you were boat one and it was a calm day, and talking about skeeters, you were gonna be like the 10th person down there. But if the wind was blowing like 15 miles an hour and you were boat 20, you're gonna be the first one.
Really?
Like he was gonna be the first one there. Like they just
Still
apparently-
available. If any of you are interested in a probably
Very, very
105 mile an hour bass boat that you can fish out of,
Yeah,
hit up
that's the
John
one.
with JCS Marine.
Nah.
He's got a badass center console Bullet that you can lift the front end of it up with your pinky.
Yeah, it's extremely light. That boat is awesome.
That thing is sick. I wish I had the money laying around to buy it because I freaking would.
That thing would be ridiculously fast.
It would be ridiculous.
And it's got a tuned Mercury on it too.
I would be so scared.
So when they posted
he said roundabout.
Yeah, right.
Dead Rise Angles makes the ride amazing in Allison's. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
I just
So
don't see enough of them to really
John-
hear about it.
John posted that bullet on like one of the like bass boat sale Facebook pages, and somebody commented on there like why what makes this worth $40,000, and I was just like 100-mile-per-hour memories.
Yep. Oh, because it is 100-mile-an-hour boat.
Oh yeah.
There's no question.
Almost like that freaking what is that Hydra Stream?
Oh, the one that in Kevin's garage
So it's
thing or
down.
whatever.
It's down at Lake Anna. Kevin owns it. It's over this, underneath this.
I think it's a Hydro Stream.
Yeah, it's a
like
Hydra
a
Stream.
15-foot boat.
Yeah, it's got this Merc,
16-foot boat with a 200.
like a Merc 2 point. Yeah, it's a Merc 200 with like 2.4 or whatever.
It's a
it
I
is.
think it's a Bridgeport 2.4,
Bridgeport,
but
yeah.
it's worked. I mean, it's not stock.
Yeah, yeah. It
It's like 120-mile-an-hour.
that
boat.
thing would make
Yeah.
you. That thing would make you shit your pants just idling, from what I hear.
I think it needs a new transom, which doesn't surprise me.
Oh, it definitely needs to go up to John then. If it needs a transom, it definitely needs to go up to John. Because John will find a way to take the old transom out, put a stronger one in, and make the boat lighter.
The only
You don't need to make that later. You
I
need
feel
to
like
make
You
it-
know, but it'll be faster.
I feel like the only way that boat is going to JCS is if it's not coming home.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Knowing Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Hey, I would love to see John run the thing, because I wouldn't fucking run it.
I would have ran it
touch
in
that
Anna.
thing.
If he would have dipped it, I would have ran it. I would have died, but I would have ran it.
I don't have. I do not have the cojones to drive something like that.
I wanted to go down there and kind of look at it, but I remember going past and just looking over and be like, that boat looks like it goes Mach 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. I would have tried to run it, and then. But
looks
the
like-
thing, how do you like?
Is
looks
that
like a-
glass?
it looks like a
an,
death trap.
it looks like an aluminum.
That's
ring.
glass.
It's glass.
glass.
Yeah. I think aluminum would just like disintegrate.
It would-
at that
yeah,
speed.
exactly,
Just,
pretty
like,
much.
fall apart.
It would just melt the friction on
Dude,
the
I
water.
should put that Bridgeport on the back of my Ranger.
Oh my god,
That'd be hilarious.
dude, that thing
Would
would
be
fly.
insane.
I think it would fly.
Yeah. All right, John, we need to make something happen here.
That would be pretty intense.
All right, here's a question. Oh, wait a minute. John said just
What?
acquired 2 Allison GT20s yesterday, speedboats. Nice.
Sounds like
I don't know what a
sounds like we need to
GT20
make a
is.
trip.
So here's my question for the experts in the room. You had to pick one fast Mercury on either an XB21 or a 20XD, not a 21, a 20XD Bullet. Are you picking a 2.4 Bridgeport, a 2.5,
The first
an XB, a Pro Max, or a 300X? 300X, yes, it's a 300.
the first
I'm doing a 2.5.
the first
2.4.
the first Google return was from the Allison Owners Forum, and it literally says the GT20 will not run 100 miles per hour.
Really? Yeah. Oh, it's not going fast enough for him. Oh, that's hilarious.
Something tells me that John will get a GT20 to go 100 miles an hour.
It says the GT20 will not run 100 miles per hour. It's not about weight or horsepower. It's about aerodynamic. Is it really aerodynamics anymore?
John says,
I think
Hydrodynamic.
that's
John says the
hydrodynamics.
show.
I was talking to Glenn
yeah.
Reynolds. He was talking to Glenn Reynolds.
Those show maxes are so badass.
Yeah, the shows.
The shows are so nasty.
I love my show.
So Morgan says 300X.
I also love the new when they redesigned the cowling,
Yeah.
like the one that mine has.
So, Morgan, what's this rumor that I've heard of? I have no idea who. I have no idea who it was, but I heard there was a rumor boat going around that somebody started tuning Mercs.
Yeah, that's a thing. It is a thing. Basically we don't know how long it's going to last though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I saw a Facebook post about it.
That would be pretty insane. A flashed Merc, like it'd be cool to see like the flashed Merc 250 versus the flash show 250. Like, what do we got here?
I mean, unless you're like actually like racing, do you even trust it?
I don't know.
Oh, John says shh.
Here's the other
I have
thing.
no idea who it is. I just heard about it.
Here's the other thing. What about this? So we talk about fast outboards. Is the V8 XP 300 even in that conversation? The OMC 300 horsepower V8
No.
two-stroke. I don't know, dude. That thing was fast.
Was
A
it that
lot of people love that motor. I'm just curious for you guys out there that may have ran them or turn wrenches on them. Morgan says they're around, but not in numbers yet. So it's. I think Mercury should do it.
I'm really interested in the performance aspect of what Mercury could push if they started to allow.
I feel like Mercury.
performance tubes.
I feel like knowing Mercury, they're going to come out with a different motor.
Why couldn't they do the
was it
same
that was-
thing as the show, like that, like Nizpro does? You know what I mean? Like, why couldn't they do something that was in that safety standard to them, or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. Maybe Yamaha just doesn't care about that. And Mercury does because Yamaha is not an American company.
So Morgan says,
Is Mercury an American company?
yeah, Brunswick, Wisconsin. So
Okay, right on.
Morgan,
I like that. That's
Morgan
cool.
says drag. Yes, I'm assuming you're talking about the 300 XP V8 OMC two-stroke.
I don't know what he was eating.
He was eating a brush. There's a brush somewhere.
Can you stop eating things?
I've actually never even seen a 300 XP. I've only in videos. The coolest thing I've ever seen is some guy pulled the block off of one and put expansion chambers on every cylinder and put it in a car. And it literally sounds like the biggest chainsaw you ever heard. And like the car like spins the tires in every gear. It's like the craziest thing ever. And he has like a giant water jug hooked up to it to cool it. It's pretty weird.
I've seen some crazy stuff. I saw somebody took an I think it was an old RX-7 and put a snowmobile motor in it.
Oh,
That's wild.
It's a two-stroke snowmobile motor.
nice.
Everybody, this is my pet hamster. His name is Bubs,
And he eats everything.
and he eats everything, and he farts on us all the time.
He does rip a lot of ass.
He also likes to get tangled up in all the wires that are hanging down below here,
that does happen.
which is also very fun.
Miles says he's ready for river rats. I mean, have you been out there practicing? Oh, don't ready.
What's it? It's $100 to get in, right?
120.
Is that option or just?
No, that's just total. That's
Oh,
big.
okay.
That's big fish. That
Okay.
includes big fish.
Cool.
It's 110. Well, I think the cutoff was today for pre-register. Pre-register is $10 cheaper.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So it's like $100 to pre-register. Appreciate you, Miles. Appreciate you. Anybody who comes out to support our club in our spring River Rats Open. For anybody interested, that is March 29th out of Tidings.
It should be a fun tournament. It should be a big bag tournament. Somebody's going to have over 20. That's a guarantee.
It's been quite a few years since it's taken less than 20 something to win.
Yeah.
I mean, Herb had like 20. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Herb had like 24 with like a 9-pound kicker.
Wow. Hey, here's an interesting comment. Morgan says we put a 300R and a tune show on the same hull, and the R was 3 miles an hour faster. Really?
Well, I
That's
mean,
pretty cool.
I mean, there's a lot of
Does that have to
factors that
do-
go into that too.
does that have to do with like gear ratio in the lower? Like, what,
Yeah, that was my next question.
you know, what I wonder what the the difference there, you know, is. Well, you know, why that would be faster when, you know, it's. Well, I guess that's. I mean, theoretically, by law, the 300R can be 330 horsepower. So I think they can.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it can be 10% over what it's stated as.
I'm not smart enough to tell you the difference between
thought it
like a
was all just
250R
emissions.
and a 250 Pro
What?
XS.
Thought it was all just like based on
Like there were different
the
components.
like emission stuff, like how they can.
Oh, they can. I'm just so
That brings up a good conversation.
an
actually.
engine. So an engine manufacturer, if they advertise, yeah, that's what I thought the gear case design. If they advertise a motor by federal law, from what I understand, if you advertise like a 200 horsepower motor, it can actually, so that could be a 200. That motor could actually be 220 horsepower.
It's like the Evinrude 200 HO.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So legally, it can say 200, but it's really 220.
And you know what? I don't care what anyone says. That was a good ass motor.
I want to point out Morgan Propeller Dynamics had an awesome post on Facebook yesterday that I really liked, where they were showing their injector cleaning services.
Oh, nice.
So
I
and-
love. Oh, it's so Morgan says it's 7% now. Cool. I figured Morgan would know the answer to that.
So you can go 7% over the horsepower rating? Okay, cool.
they
So
were
that would
showing.
make, so 7% is 321 horsepower on the 300.
Nice.
But that Propeller Dynamics showed their like an injector cleaning service, like
Cool,
some of the
isn't it?
crap that they can get out of the injectors, and then you don't realize that when you run that nasty fuel and all that gunk and crap that gets in there, that it starts to actually, your injectors aren't spraying the same amount of fuel as they're like supposed to be, and it makes you an imbalance in what each cylinder is receiving.
I almost wonder
I
if
love watching them test them.
I almost wonder if that's all
I
I
thought
need.
that was so cool.
I almost wonder if that's all I need on the XB to get it
Right.
to get it to be top of the line is just that injector
You got
cleaning.
something going on. Tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So like the boat runs awesome, and the trimming has helped a ton. But the issue that I'm having is no matter where I'm at with the jack plate height, anywhere from 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches below to an inch below. So I have 3/4 of play, which makes a big difference. When I hit like 69 to 71 miles an hour at like 5,700 RPMs, I can feel, it almost feels like it's blowing out.
Like it bogs down.
It's not really bogging down, but I almost feel like it's the prop is slipping. But when the prop slips, the RPMs should scream, but they don't. The RPMs go down to 5,200. So it's like it reaches this threshold of fuel delivery, and then it like starts to die because, well, not die, but it just, the RPMs just go back down and they sit there. Now, if you come off of it and you let the boat sit down a little bit, trim it, and then you get it back on, then it starts coming back, and you can get it to 57, and then because and I do
just take it to Morgan.
I do want to take it down there.
Time to make a trip.
I do want to take it down there. But again, my thing is, it's like if the prop's losing bite, it should be bumping the rev limiter, which is like 6,300.
Right.
If I'm at 57, that is 500 or 500 to 600 RPM short.
Right.
So I'm not hitting that for whatever reason. And
Is
furthermore,
that 500 to 600 RPMs enough to get you up to 80 miles an hour?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, big
Because
time.
you're running 68 to 70, right?
Well, it's pulling at 68 to 70, and then it's like it hits 70, and you can actually like you're running and
You
you
just
can
like
like
feel it fall on its face.
it doesn't fall on its face, but you feel that acceleration stop, and then you look at the tack and we're back down to 52, 53. And it's like, to me, that means we have some sort of issue that's stopping fuel to get it past that range, and it's like it's running out. Because like if you've ever had a boat with a bad fuel line, because like when I first ran the Bullet, my fuel line was collapsed when I was still running the 225. You'd get it up to speed, and then it would start coughing, and it would go back down to idle. It would never quit. It would have to re-up the fuel. So we're having the same issue, just at a higher RPM.
Now you
So
said
it could be a
that-
clogged injector, it could be a VST, it could be a weak fuel pump that's 25 years old.
Now, what about the other thing that Morgan might have brought up when he was talking to you? You have the wrong ECM.
So I went down that rabbit hole, and to be completely honest with you, I've had a lot of help from a lot of people saying, and everyone's very reputable, and some people have said this is the wrong computer. Some people have said this is the right computer. I called Mercury. Mercury said that's the right computer. It's just the older model. It was superseded by a replacement part.
Why is there an older model on the newer motor?
It was the
It's not a-
original.
it's the original.
Yeah, it's the
It
original.
is the original.
And then as the motor grew in age, they made a different ECM to replace that one.
Later models.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now Mercury told me that's the right computer, so I'm going to go with what Mercury says. And this
you ask-
not to discount anyone that said it might be otherwise, because I appreciate your help, and I truly. I talked to John. John talked to his old Mercury guru, who's like a racing guy, and he's like, "Those are the right computers."
Was that John or Morgan that you talked to?
I talked to both of them.
Okay, I didn't want to get it confused on that.
I talked to two Morgans. I talked to John. I talked to a couple people. I even called Mercury. Now, granted, I'm sure the lady at Mercury,
How is the Mercury customer service?
it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, if you're looking up parts, if you can navigate Mercury parts catalog, you don't have to call Mercury, because that's all they're going to do. Is they're literally going to go on Mercury parts catalog. They're going to punch in your serial number.
They
And
just
then-
know how to
Just
find
give
this
them
stuff faster.
just give them a
Yes.
part number off the ECU.
Well, yes, and then what they'll do is they'll literally. So if I go on Mercury parts catalog and I put in my ECM and my fuel module, because there's two, there's the ignition.
ECM, I keep saying
So-
the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Morgan says he can hook it up and see what the actual rev limiter is. So, I mean, I think it's worth going down there and putting it
I'd say
in the
so.
hands of somebody who knows those types of boats.
I'd
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah.
And honestly,
It's not that far away.
I'd love
No.
to go down there and hang out with the guys at Propeller Dynamics and pick their brain a little bit. And
We could go,
we should definitely go down there.
Or-
And we'd do a live show with them.
or get this. We go down there, we drop it off to them while they're working on it. We go fishing.
Fishing the cold side.
No, they're way past Lake Anna.
Where are they at? Like near the chick more?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Adam, what's up, brother?
That would be
Somewhere
pretty
down,
sick.
or there's a bunch of lakes down there and stuff too.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Adam, are you drinking one of those disgusting milk beers?
So here's my thing about the whole. And I've never run Mercuries other than like the old fucking tin cowling Mercuries that had no computers, right? Like this one at least.
Tower of Power.
Yes. Yes. So
That's actually what it was called.
I literally don't know what a rev
so
limiter
ugly.
feels like, but I feel like.
I don't think I've ever
not
hit the rev.
there.
I don't think I've ever hit the rev limiter on a boat.
Yeah, I feel like a rev limiter, you get an alarm, and I'm not getting an alarm when I do this.
You don't get on.
So
I've had the rev
Really?
limiter hit on my little 30 Yamaha.
It's not like a car, like like if you hit
It,
the rev
like,
limiter,
bounces?
it just bang. With a boat, it's very subtle.
oh yeah, we're not bouncing, and like you can feel it. Like, and I don't know if it's the prop that I'm feeling or if it's the motor like kicking trying to get fuel. It almost feels like it's trying to get fuel. So I got it at a place right now, and they're looking to see if they can find a fuel problem. If they find a fuel problem, I'm in business. If not, I'm taking a trip I'm probably going to take a trip anyway down to Prop Dynamics.
What's up, Josh? Listen, Chad, just because you were robbed of coffee milk growing up, don't take that out on autograph.
I actually like that stuff. I thought it was pretty good.
Drinking this weird stuff called water, very bland.
I also drink Clamatos.
You can add sugar-free flavors to that shit, you know.
Me too, Tony.
Little.
So good.
I'll take one.
All right. 3 coming up after I pee.
Clamato. Tony,
I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like that Clamato with some of Todd's oysters could have been pretty good.
do you know this from experience, Dustin?
There's
Oh yeah, if the limiters hit hard enough, yeah, that makes sense.
they will beep and fall back 3 or 4 nights. Oh, okay. I've gone on my little Yamaha on the John boat when the oil in the reservoir gets low and you try to pin it, it goes wrap up, and it won't let you rev anymore.
That's pretty funny. There's going to be a commercial saying you may be entitled to compensation if you were not given coffee milk as a child.
What is
Coffee milk?
I'm talking about this milk beer that Adam had us try when we were
what
down
is he
there. And
talking
it was just
about, though?
terrible. It was just awful. I don't know. What do you mean coffee milk?
Like milk in his coffee? He was not allowed milk in his coffee?
It was literally, I don't even know what it was.
I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what he's referring to. With
Milk
coffee
in my coffee is the only way that I will drink my coffee. I don't even like regular creamer. I got to put milk in it.
Black coffee all day. Every day of the week.
That's pretty manly.
Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I drink 4 cups of it a day, and I will not ever stop.
Autocrat is a coffee milk syrup.
You drink
All right.
4 cups of black coffee a day?
Every day.
That's incredible.
I drink 2 back to back, and then depending on where I'm at, I just drink them as needed the rest of the day.
Is it highly caffeinated?
Oh, it's espresso. Yeah.
Oh, God. He's lit. Yeah, I do 2 cups of coffee in the morning. Are you guys coffee drinkers? You guys like coffee, tea? What do you guys do? A lot of people just stick with water.
John says, I'd like to go with you guys to Morgan Shop, but I'd end up with another bullet.
He'd end up with the 21 XST, which looks sick, by the way.
I would love to set that up, to go down there to Propeller Dynamics with John.
We just have a big fucking party.
We should.
A big old freaking party.
You know what? The crazy? We're like at that midway point too. They could come up here. John could come down here. We could meet up on the bay, and then we could just
meet on the Potomac.
party around here. On the Potomac. Yeah, the Potomac.
Just meet up on the Potomac.
Yeah, so Josh says his sister's lived in my home for 25 years. Used to ship it down to her. That's pretty awesome.
Sorry for her.
Adam says you must shit like a champ with the espresso. I will tell you right now, and Chad has seen this. I've never done drugs in my life, any of them. I swear to God. If I don't
He's never done anything in his life. He's very straight-laced other than drinking.
If I don't have caffeine, I'm like, my body will stop it doesn't work. Like, it's weird.
Hey, Fishing for Dollars. Thanks for joining in.
Fishing for Dollars. What's up, brother? Glad to have you back.
Glad to hear the boat's running good, too.
Fishing the Big Bass Tournament on Clark's Hill.
Nice. Says the Camus is running great. Love it.
I feel like they should almost
They
be
have
on beds
such
there.
pretty boats. I really like the Camus boats.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They look really nice.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
We still don't know
No.
if they're going to be
Yeah,
around
right.
for a lot longer, but I mean, they're in the same boat as Triton. I mean, it's in terms of the Tom. No, not yet. It's still sitting at Dave's. Dave. When I talked to Dave on the phone, he said, "Yup, sounds like a fuel issue." So hopefully it's that. And the good news is, if it is a fuel issue, it's probably going to be pretty easy to figure out. There's only so many things it can be.
I'm just mad you took it to Dave.
Why?
Nah,
Fair enough.
I like Premier.
sketchy. But we don't have a lot of choices around here, so.
I've never heard any bad. That would be the first not great thing I've heard about Dave.
Tom won't tell me where he took his boat to get fixed. He had some.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, he won't tell me where he took his boat to get fixed because he had some Class A work done to it.
Who's that?
I have no idea who it was, but they freaking suck, whoever they are.
They found the issue, and it was a bad ground, and it looked like Mickey Mouse put it back together.
Yeah, it looked like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse put that shit back together. The crimps were terrible. There was loose bolts all over the place.
Yeah, it was some Mickey Mouse
Not
shit. For sure.
good. Not good.
Josh says he drinks black coffee as well. He signed up for a rewards program at his local coffee shop, and the app offered 5 free coffees when you sign up, and it's glitched out, and it's been saying he
That's
has 4
awesome.
remaining for 2 weeks.
That is awesome. Adam says, how fast you get the boat. So, Adam, I don't know if you were on, but so I get it to like anywhere
71.
from 69 to 71, and then at like 5,600 RPMs, and then it goes back down to like 52, 53, and I can't figure out why. I thought it was maybe prop slip and the jack plate
Tom
was wrong.
says accurate.
But when I keep messing with the jack plate, no matter how high it is, I have the same result. So to me, that sounds like something's going on with the XB. It's probably a fuel issue, maybe not. I don't think it's a rev limiter because a rev limiter, to my understanding, doesn't drop an RPM 400 to 500 RPMs immediately and then not come back. Just my opinion. I don't know a whole lot. I'm not a mechanic. See what happens. I mean, I'm hoping that they call me up and say, hey, we found it. It's not a huge deal. And here you go. So,
Bing.
I usually try to mess with that shit myself and try to figure that kind of stuff out. But it's March 14th. I want the boat running and ready to fish. So, in this case, I didn't mess with it. But yep, that's where we're at. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm going to tag our friends with the old Grounded Coffee Company. My buddy Ryan is in shindigs with Grounded Coffee, and they make some pretty great coffee up there in the Perryville area. Check them guys out if you are local around here. Grounded Coffee Company.
I will say I'm definitely
on a black coffee kick myself.
I'm a little bit of a snob with coffee. I drink
If there is no other option, I can do it. But I have to at least put a little sugar in it or something.
I can drink
It's just straight up.
black.
Just straight
Yeah.
up.
I only drink 2 brands
That's why
of
you're so
coffee.
hairy, because you drink black coffee.
I don't drink it all the time. Like, I just started drinking.
Puts hair on your chest.
I only drink 2 types of coffee, and it's either Death Wish espresso blend, which is my
Death Wish is good coffee.
Death Wish is good coffee, and Black Rifle coffee. That's
the
those
only
are the
two
only
that I
two.
drink as well. It's Death Wish or Black Rifle. Gotta say.
Yep.
I have
Josh
Dunkin'.
makes
I
a
have
good
the
point.
Dunkin' Donuts in my.
That's what I'm trying to tell him, Josh.
Once you get a boat like yours, bring it to someone who isn't making guesses or at least highly educated ones. Yeah, I agreed, 100%.
Yeah. So basically,
Bubs.
take it to Morgan.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. Can't.
Well, when I get it back, if I can't get it dialed in, then yeah, definitely. I mean, probably anyway, just to get the most out of it with my setup. Because
Bubs,
you
I'm
can
gonna
tell
lock you
it's
out.
got more. I mean, you can tell it's got more when you're running and you're pulling, and we're increasing like a half mile an hour,
And then it just falls on
and then
its
it just stops, and you can feel that it has stopped accelerating. You can definitely, something's going on, but we'll figure it out.
Daddy says no. Sorry.
That's what happens when you get here's the deal.
Sorry, Bubs.
I knew that was a possibility when I bought a $3,100 used outboard.
But you might
Yeah,
use some work to it.
exactly.
It's just the way it's the game, dude. Like it is what it is, and
It's gonna get figured out. We have the right
Oh, yeah.
connections
Hey,
to
Dan.
get it figured out.
yep.
That's one of the, I absolutely love what we do here on Bass and Beer Radio. I love connecting with everybody. I love the connections that we've made through the fishing industry, through the boating industry, and that we 110% have some of the best guys in the industry to fall back on for some of this stuff.
Now, we know that it shouldn't be at 71. There's definitely an issue going on with the motor. at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a huge. I really think it's just a fuel restriction somewhere that's causing it to not carry past 56, 57.
You want a beer?
Nice. I like repaying favors. Just saying. But yeah. But other than, I mean, and again, so like the motor part of it was
Somebody
again,
owes Rob a lot of cigarettes.
yeah. The motor part of it, it was literally I bought it, I had it shipped to John at JCS, and I said, hey, bolt this on. I didn't ask him to do anything, troubleshooting, looking at it, cleaning it. They literally bolted it on. So the JCS part of the boat is fucking spectacular.
Hold on. You literally had the boat in a shop,
Yes.
and you had a motor put on that
Yes.
you've never set eyes before,
yes.
and you didn't have them look over it.
Well, I mean, they a visual and like it runs, yes. But I mean,
That's
here's
all
the,
they're supposed to
but
do.
here's the
really.
thing.
I mean,
Here's the thing. They couldn't stretch it out and try to run it fast as hell because
iced
it was
out.
December. You know,
But
what I
you
mean?
didn't have them like go through the motor,
I did
like
not
check
tell them to go
check
through the-
injector stuff like that.
Well, no, because checking in. Well, I should have. I
Tom-
should have. And Johnny, when I talked to John on Monday, it was the first thing he said. He's like, "We probably should have done the injectors." And I said, "Yep, you're right. I should have told you guys." But I mean, that costs more money.
and Tony's cheap.
I am cheap. So.
I mean, you're cheap to a point, but you're willing to freaking go out on what you want. So.
Oh yeah,
I just find it funny the things that the things that he skimps on sometimes.
dude. I'm about to learn to
I think the
weld.
only jackhammers that Tony has been gifted to him.
Yeah, and Adam's 100% right. Adam said they started it and ran it as best they could.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, man. I mean, I am in no way, shape, or form in any way like feel any sort of negativity towards JCS because they did everything I asked and then some.
Oh, I'm not blaming
Like,
them.
hell
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
no. I'm not. I got zero blame. I'm.
Oh, it's
all
100%
blame
on me.
All blame on you.
It's 100% on you. Yes. No, it is. 1,000%. It's the same thing with the steering. It's the same thing with the steering because
Right.
one of the first
skipped
things,
out. You skipped
Yep.
out and you're like, oh no, you use the old steering. Guess
Yep.
what goes out?
Yep.
Steering.
Because John even said, he's like, hey, I think we should probably do the steering. I'm like, what's that cost? He's like, a 4-digit figure. I'm like, let's not do that. Does it leak? Well, it doesn't now. Let's keep it. Guess what? It leaks now. Well, it did until I had it fixed. So,
You just had to wear the seals out a little bit more at Lake Anna.
Yeah, right.
Which is why we had an oil sheet behind your boat everywhere we went.
Yes, that makes sense now.
Josh said if you weren't a wuss, you could have broke the ice at the ramp. Well, then I would only have half a wrap left. So
We did. We went all the way to the ramp, and then it was locked up.
right, and Adam's 100% right. You can start a motor.
You should have just like broke it up with your arms and put the boat in.
Yeah, but I also, I mean, Adam, there, I'm assuming there are preventative things that you could have expected, doing with an older motor.
That Tony could have expected.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely looking back, I would have done it differently.
That if Tony
but-
didn't cheap out on.
Dude, you should put some bigger injectors in that bitch. Yeah. You should put a turbo on it.
Mercury 300 XB.
What if that thing, like, you put a freaking turbo on it, you got like half a turbo sticking out the side cowling? That'd be awesome.
Just an expansion chamber.
They make
a
a
2-stroke dirt bike.
What's up, Steven?
They make a supercharger for shows.
Do they really?
Do they really?
They get that in Kevin's hands.
Oh my god.
Get that in Kevin's hands. That's crazy.
There's a Niz Pro supercharger kit.
Imagine going, like, having a boat pass you and it just sounds like...
Morgan said C-Star
Whining.
steering end caps are a weekly deal in the shop here. Yep, 100%.
I had to do those on my Champion.
Yep.
So I'm sure I'll have to do them on the Skeeter here soon.
But yeah,
much as
I'm ready to
hope
get
not.
the thing back
much
and
as I use
rock
the
and
boat.
roll. So
As many things as I hit.
Do you hit a lot of stuff?
I mean, I fished the gunpowder.
You didn't fix the skeg yet.
Why fix it if I'm just going to
Break
screw
it off again.
Exactly.
Does it make any difference in your performance?
It probably affects like top end a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Not
it
enough.
doesn't.
Not enough to care that much.
It still goes 72 miles an hour. Like that's
all we need.
all I really care about.
Kevin's
Yeah,
boat,
and the
however-
cowling, like Adam said, the cowling gets even bigger. So like the cowling, there's like it's like a 4-inch spacer in between it, like in between the cowling and the midsection.
Yeah, Josh.
oh hey Josh, so you'll like this. So I remember, if you remember, I was telling you about my rusted ass 12 valve.
Remember John told us it was going to be a 5-minute boat ride to the ramp, and then 30 minutes later we pulled in.
Yeah. So I went to look at trucks last weekend, and the dealership experience was just not great. Mainly because they didn't have what I wanted, and everything's
Where'd you go?
fucking expensive. Alpaca Ford.
Alpaca's not bad.
No, they're
It's
not.
a good dealership, but everything right now is just stupid.
The service wasn't the problem. The problem was the
you go.
inventory, and everything expensive as shit.
The show supercharger is $18,000 their price.
Holy shit! Wow. So
What are the gains you see from that, Morgan?
I ended up pricing out how much it's going to cost
Forget how
me
much
to
it
get
is.
the
It's like
rocker panels for
four-
the 12 valve.
442 or something.
And so the long story short is, Josh, I'm going to learn how to spot weld and / plug weld my rocker panels on my truck. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure I
Okay,
won't
but
cuss.
here's the thing. I think we should do that, but I still think you should put yourself in a more reliable vehicle.
Oh yeah, and I will. I mean, it's
I
like,
think you should put yourself in a more reliable vehicle. I don't think you should get a 7.3 gas.
but they're cool though.
They're really not.
They have balls.
You're
I mean, they
gonna
got the
get
power.
8 miles to the gallon with it. It's gonna be
probably.
stupid. Just get a freaking 5.7 Hemi or do the freaking EcoBoost Ford F-150. That's all you need to pull a boat. You're not pulling dump trailers and skid loaders.
Well, the Hemi's not even a
Don't
thing
do
anymore.
the EcoBoost.
The Hemi's not a thing anymore.
Actually,
it's
just
the
get a
Hurricane.
Tundra. Just get a Tundra.
I think it's like the 4-liter Hurricane or whatever.
But I got some equipment to do some of that work. Josh. I got a little Miller big machine. We can spot weld everything with.
Oh, yeah,
But I
yeah.
think we should get you in a more reliable vehicle that's a little bit comfort. You know, the heating, air conditioning, heated seats, whatnot. You
Tony
freaking
would-
enjoy the shit out of that. But
No.
then we take, because you can get those panels for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready for it, we freaking fix up the 12 valve, and you have two badass trucks.
Well, I think I'm going to do the 12 valve first, and then over the next year or two, get into something a little bit nicer.
I think you should flip that.
Maybe. Well, the thing of it is if I'm making monthly payments, I'm not going to want to spend the money on the 12 valve. Or if I do it now, then it'll be.
Yeah, but
it'll
the
make more
$500 or
sense.
$600 for the panels ain't gonna be shit.
I will
Especially 'cause
say-
you want to rattle can everything.
I do like John's truck a lot. That 6.6 gas, that was a
really
nice truck.
Yeah, that's a nice truck
That was a really nice
with the
truck.
Allison transmission.
I do like that Ford 10-speed though. That thing is badass.
John, what kind of miles are you seeing with that 6.6? I'm pretty sure we asked you that, but
My plan with the 12 valve is to fix the rust, fix the dash panel, which is falling apart because it's a Dodge.
Right.
And then put like a 400 horsepower injectors, AFC live, bump the timing.
you got to do a turbo.
Not for 400. Anything under 400, you can keep the stock. You can. It's not the best.
Do a turbo.
Nah, I'm gonna do a
The
turbo.
fucking turbo is the size of a snail.
I know.
Yeah,
Mr.
no,
Mr. Murphy.
You got to put a turtle shell in there.
I would do if I was
John
gonna
says he gets 14 towing.
if I was gonna
pretty
add
good.
a
It's not
turbo,
bad.
I would run.
That's really good. That's better than my.
Compounds.
That's better than my Dodge.
I just put a 68 in it
Did
or
you?
70. That's what I would do if I was you.
I get like. I mean, depending
You
on
want
how
something that's
fast.
going to take forever to spool, but you need something that's going to give you more air for those injectors.
Depending on how fast I'm towing on the highway, I get like 12.7.
Why is that so loud?
Loud.
Yeah, I get like 12.7 miles per gallon, give or take, when I'm driving.
Rob says at least we can all agree not to get a Nissan truck, and
Yeah.
Adam says, "Hey, I like my Nissan."
I think on the way home from Atlanta, I got like 12.
I gotta say, dude, I think we're more talking about the Nissan. Is it a 5/8 ton? It's not
Yeah,
a
it's
half
something
ton.
weird.
It's weird. It's not a freaking 3/4 ton, but it's not a half ton either.
Whatever.
It's like a 5/8 ton with the Cummins motor in it.
You know who I had a good conversation with about this?
Well, they have their gas motor too, which
They do.
They're poo-poo.
You know who I had a good
Sorry,
conversation?
Adam. Sorry, buddy.
You know who I had a good conversation with this about? Todd.
Todd,
Oh, dude, we went down
Where's
the rabbit
Todd
hole,
at?
man. We went down a rabbit hole.
I'm gonna tag him.
The best part about and I've only met Todd once, but every time I have a conversation with Todd, I could just picture Todd talking to me through that
What's
phone.
Todd's
It's
last name?
Rana. Rana, I think. Nah, it's not gonna let us tag him. It's stupid.
Just do @Rana.
Or somebody tag Todd.
Hey, look, we're gonna tag Randy Blanket.
Yeah. Adam says
Please do.
Adam says a rabbit hole with Todd? No way. Dude, Todd's probably gonna have UFO fucking technology on his next truck. It's like, Todd, where'd you get that? I don't know.
Got it. Oh look, there you go.
Oh, perfect. You tagged Todd.
Thanks,
Nice.
Adam.
Dude, Todd had a pretty badass Duramax up there though. It had the bull hauler stacks on it. Looked pretty good.
Was that? Yeah, that was a Duramax,
I will-
wasn't it? Yeah, the 6.6 Duramax, a badass truck.
I think it was an LBZ too.
The
older one.
Those are the best ones.
Oh yeah.
In the car culture world, the thing that I hate the most are stacks on trucks.
I had them. I had them, and I liked what it did for the sound of the truck. I liked what it did for the towing of the truck and the performance of the straight pipe. What I hated was it blew soot all over my fucking boat. All over my
I
fucking boat.
like the stacks to a point, but I think nothing is more clean than a 4 or 5 inch turbo back exhaust.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would agree.
exactly.
Stainless
I would
steel
agree
all
with
the way to the
that.
back. I just think it looks cleaner and it sounds nastier. However,
The hood stack's the way to go. If you're gonna put a stack, it's gotta be a hood stack.
yeah, just put a hood stack there. Just blind yourself all the way down the road.
Well, you blind your passenger, not you.
Right.
So I wanted to put a hood stack on the 12 valve when I first got it.
Yeah,
Well,
you do.
we can still do that.
Who needs an exhaust? You just go straight out of the turbo.
Yeah, you don't even have an exhaust on your truck, do you? It's just fucking coming out a hole in the bottom.
No, it's all. I got an exhaust on it. It goes all the way back.
I used to have a. It was my dad's. It was a first gen 12 valve. And I remember being like, why is this thing so loud all of a sudden? I went and I crawled underneath of it. Right at the 90 where it comes off the turbo was just rotted out and it was just dumping right there. And I was like, oh, that's why.
Oh boy, here we go. Stacks are better than the gay 10-inch exhaust tip the Ford clowns run. Dude,
No, exhaust tips are stupid.
I don't like that.
You just do a straight, clean 5-inch turbo back exhaust to the back, stainless steel, clean.
The oversized tips, I'm not a fan of. I do like the biggest tip. I would go 6-inch because it's just a little bit bigger to give you a little more bass in it.
The VW truck, like a Volkswagen Rabbit with a hood stack? Is it a Rabbit have the truck bed?
The old Rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an old Rabbit truck. I don't know if they...
That would be pretty sick.
I will say, before we get back into fishing, if you're getting a new diesel now, you're crazy to not get a 6.7 Power Stroke. You're crazy. It's clearly the best truck. Clearly. It's not even close.
The 6.7 powers, I mean, honestly, they're all pretty decent at this point.
Oh, yeah.
A couple years ago, Duramax had some injector problems, but I'm pretty sure they fixed it.
CP4, that's what it was.
The
It was killing
Cummins,
them,
their EGRs are clogging up the screens inside the motor.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
And then a lot of the Power Strokes right now have their radiators are cracking and
So-
shit like that.
I don't know if anyone's been following like news, but Lee Zeldin, who is the appointed head of the EPA, had a press conference today saying they are rolling back a bunch of emission stuff. Now, as diesel guys, I'm interested. I'm also interested as an outboard motor person because we go back to EPA. That's what caused a lot of problems with early Optimaxes, and that's what caused a lot of problems with Evinrudes. So if they're going to roll
The
these,
DEF systems are trash. If you can delete them, delete them.
if they're going to roll these back, if they're going to roll back EPA regulations, do we think it's going to change outboards?
No.
No.
I think it will.
I don't think it will.
I think it will because you can put more fuel to them. You can put more fuel to them. They're going to be
I
faster.
don't
They're
know
going to be
if-
more
I don't
reliable.
know if it applies to the marine industry the same that it applies to cars.
Well, it definitely does because everyone went 4-stroke in 2018 because it was easier to comply with the EPA.
Yeah, but now the cost of them going back. So everybody who has a 4-stroke now, like it's an easier motor to own. Nobody's going to go back to it. Not that many people are going to go back to a 2-stroke.
No. I'm not saying that. I think maybe the next generation of outboards, if these regulations are as significant as we're led to believe, there may be less components on them that maybe makes them a little bit faster, a little bit lighter. You know, they might not be as fuel efficient, or they might be a little bit more fuel efficient.
Yeah, I miss my Opti said no one.
Maybe they're a little more fuel efficient, but I doubt it.
I don't know. It's interesting to see. I mean, I'd be curious to if you guys are turning wrenches on these things every day. If these EPA regulations are significant, what do you guys think you're going to see? Do we think we're going to see outboards change, or maybe not change, but drop some components of how they're engineered to comply with emissions? And here's the thing: it might be cheaper too if they're dropping. I mean, it's like, put it this way. Well, you know, maybe, right?
You realize what you just said there, right?
Yeah, I know. But in theory, right? It's like with diesel trucks, if you take the EGR and the crap
That just
out
means
of the
they'll
diesel,
make more profit.
well, if you take all that shit out of diesel trucks, I mean, reasonably, you can say, well, this option is no longer a $12,000 option. It's now a $7,000 option because we dropped the EGR, we dropped DPF. That's a whole ass system. Now, outboards maybe not as much, but Morgan says he doesn't see it happening.
I don't see it happening.
I don't see anything going down in price. Like when a standard has been set,
We'll go down in price when we hit a recession.
right, where they're still selling just as many, like you know, where you're still selling just trucks. For
It's
example.
all Donald Trump's fault.
They're selling just as many trucks at $90,000 as they were at $70,000. Guess what? They're not lowering them back down to $70,000.
Yeah, it's true. Scott says, may relax limitations on flashing, but still up to manufacturer.
I would really like to see some of the limitations on flashing go down. I mean, dude, in all reality, flashing makes shit run more healthy. It's better in my opinion.
I mean, it's like
You're taking these boats that are running super lean or super rich, and you're able to freaking. I don't know.
It's like putting a tune. It's like putting a tune in a truck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you put a tune like diesel truck.
They run
put a
better.
tune in a
They
diesel
run
truck.
more efficient.
You get a significantly better gas mileage.
And how's that not better? Environmentally, having more gas mileage. It's not better for the gas stations.
Maybe it's I don't know. I like with the.
What's up, Jim?
I don't know what the trade-off is between fuel consumption and emissions. So maybe there's something there, but
Now, however, the 4-strokes are probably sipping fuel a lot better than them old 2-strokes.
my 250 horsepower 4-stroke burns significantly less than my 150 horsepower 2-stroke.
Was yours carbureted or okay? Well, that's a big part of it too.
To run with the same gallon tank, essentially. There's 2 gallons difference between the two.
Morgan says Merck is already using an O2 sensor for fuel economy and performance mapping. Making more power, maybe, but the amount will be negotiable in my experience.
So with my Champion, if I ran to the flats and back from the gunpowder, I would burn a little over a half a tank. And I probably burn like an eighth of a tank less.
If they want to lower the freaking carbon footprint, maybe they should stop letting Jay-Z fly us jet from New York to California 8 times a fucking day.
That's what if we want to if we want to go on this route and what the
Gromster, what's up, Grom? Cheers to you, buddy.
Is the stupid people like that get on and talk about carbon emissions and carbon footprint, blah 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 blah, and then freaking Taylor Swift decides, instead of driving an hour, I'm gonna take my private jet.
20 minutes or less.
I literally was watching. So he's one of those famous poker players in Las Vegas, Mickey.
Oh, fuck that dude.
I get that, but so like they were
dude's
like,
so full of
they would
shit.
give him a private jet. This dude forgot his favorite hat at home, got on his private jet, flew home just to get his freaking hat, and then came back. I was like, this is stupid. I'm like, why are people allowed to do shit like that? I was like, but you have to limit everything on a boat motor or a car engine.
I feel like he's one of those dudes that you like. I literally think that I cannot believe anything that comes out of his mouth. Because some of the shit that he says is so ridiculous.
Dude, I definitely believe him when he says that Vegas is ripping people off.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That's the only shit I'm really talking about.
We know that.
Well, but the fact of the matter is he's so good at gambling that he was able to gamble and see that they were doing dirty things.
Was he, though?
I believe it.
I don't believe him.
He didn't get banned from every single place in Vegas for no reason. He's a good poker player.
So somebody
poker,
who somebody
he was doing.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody who thinks that he's just full of shit, like actually went and asked all of these casinos, and they're like, "Yeah, no, he's not banned. Like he's not. Like he just got on and said, I've been banned from every casino."
It's all about money, dude. It's all about money.
I think it's just an act.
Even Dana White has been banned from some casinos because he's a high roller and he wins. So I definitely believe they're private companies. They can tell whoever they want to not come back or not.
They can, but like when somebody goes and says, "Hey, this guy says he's been banned from all these casinos," and they're like, "No, he hasn't." Like I feel like it's just a lot of what he says
makes the casinos look bad, in my opinion. I feel like they just cover their shit up. Money talks always.
Yeah, which is
2-stroke, no joke. 2-stroke, smoke for life.
I think he makes a lot of shit up for the views.
Maybe. He's got to make his money somehow.
Yeah.
I got to say, dude, nothing's better than a freaking cold morning when you start up the old 2-stroke. You got that smoke on the water. Come on. Smells good. Love it.
Scott, need to fire up the old 3-liter Merc and send that video to Greta Thunberg.
And watch your head explode.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Do you remember when everybody believed a 12-year-old? That's funny.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Clickbait, exactly, Jim. I think it's 100% clickbait.
How dare you? That was so fucking funny.
So funny. And it was way louder than that. It was aggressive.
Yeah, it was. It was way louder.
How dare you?
Yeah,
I can't.
basically,
I
that's
don't
where
have a
we're
very
at.
good Dutch accent.
No. Then again, oh God. Fools, American fools.
I mean, people are dumb.
So what's the next topic?
Bassmaster Classic.
That's a good topic.
Let's get back to fishing.
Trey McKinney getting ready to practice, swamping his boat.
So practice started today for the Bassmaster Classic on Ray Roberts next week. Lot of hype around this one. Possible breaking the 3-day weight record for the Classic
Really?
and Bassmaster. Possible talk of a century belt in a 3-day tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of hype around this.
So I want to answer Scott's comment because he just got on. So Scott, I've been
Andrew?
Here's what's been going on, and I've said this twice already, so I'm going to keep it as quick as possible. I get the boat to like 56, 5700 RPMs between like 68 and 71 miles an hour, and then it's like it stops getting the right amount of fuel. I drop down to like 5200, and I can almost feels like the prop is slipping. But if the prop was slipping, we'd be redlining it, and that we're not. So we hit that, RPMs drop, miles per hour drop down to like 64, 65, and then I gotta like let it catch itself. Like if I stay on the throttle, it won't come back up. So if you let it regain itself and then try to same thing. So that's what we're following. I think I got a fuel issue.
What's up,
personally.
Andrew?
It's at the shop right now. They're gonna hopefully figure it out here soon.
We got Andrew Blair with Tactical Fishing Company up in here.
What's going on, man? Thanks for joining
You know
us.
what? I've got to like not to go completely off topic again, but we need to set up an interview with Andrew. Why haven't we
Yes.
had Andrew
we need
on the
to.
show yet? It is long overdue. And when I say long overdue, like way overdue.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely need to.
Andrew
get
should
Andrew on the
Andrew
show.
should literally be a freaking common person that comes on this show.
Andrew makes some good baits.
Like Andrew's
I am
baits.
his one creature bait has
I
become.
love
my-
Andrew's content. It's good content. It's funny.
It's funny.
It's good stuff.
His one creature bait has become my new favorite jig trailer. I've been throwing it pretty much exclusively on a jig for my jig trailer this year, and I've caught quite a few fish on it.
What's the jig trailer?
What's it? The battle bug.
The battle bug, yes. That is a good looking bait. And I gotta say, Andrew has some phenomenal colors that he's put together. Remember when he did the whole color battle?
Yeah, that was
Like
pretty
on
cool.
it? That was pretty cool. Really enjoyed that. Definitely go check out Tactical Fishing Company. I put the link for his page in the comments. Click on that and go there and check out some of his products, dude. It's freaking phenomenal baits.
They are in Texas, Adam. So not it's 33.3 pounds a day, and not really that unheard of.
I'm very overdue for all of that, Jim.
I mean, and you don't have to have 15 bass over 6 pounds if you catch two 10-pounders.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, the battle bug is it's become my new favorite jig trailer. And I like it specifically because it does not have a lot of action to it.
Right.
For a creature bait, it doesn't have a lot of.
How big
Funky
of
flappy going
a
on.
how big of a lake is Ray Roberts?
It's pretty big.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've never really heard much of it.
it's a pretty big lake. Here, I'll look it up for you just to get some numbers. Lake Ray Roberts. It is 30,000 acres.
Okay, that's
And
pretty
we'll
big.
talk to you soon, brother. He's at the old Cracker Barrel.
Nice. Is that like Hartwell size?
No, I think it's bigger than Hartwell.
Is it?
Yeah, pretty sure it's bigger.
Yeah,
than
and Hartwell is pretty big too. So
It's 30,000 acres. It's full of big bass. You're going to see a variety of techniques. There should be some shallow fish. There's going to be some people scoping. It could go, it could go either way. Like it could be one shallow with big bag shallow. It could be one offshore. There could be some. Yeah, I saw that Milliken was quoted saying he wouldn't be casting at anything under 6 to 7 pounds. So he's either. He said that he's hero or zero on this one. Like
Very, very.
That
bumpy.
also leads me to think that he could be sight fishing too.
No, he's scoping.
Okay, so he's okay. Fair enough.
Can I help?
I mean,
you?
sight fishing is probably a thing there, right? This time of year, though, right?
It could be.
Can I help
Yeah.
you?
So what is it? Then we're in the
Down.
first week of March.
Down.
So yeah, they were. So when I was down there last year, they were spawning on Fork last week. What was I down there? I was down there the first weekend of March. And
I
were
would be
spawning on
so
Fork,
terrified to run my boat in
Fork.
Fork.
You just run the
Santee's
you stay in
worse.
the boat lanes.
Santee's worse.
Santee's the same way. You stay in the boat lanes.
Yeah.
The boat lanes are marked.
I feel like a lot of those guys don't though. Like a lot of the pros, like they freaking run.
You got to know where to run.
How do you know where to run if you don't fish there all
They
the
make
time?
so you can buy a boat lanes chip.
Ooh, I like it.
So when you buy the boat lanes chip that they sell in Florida, actually marks all the safe running routes, where all the timber is. Like it's pretty wild.
All right, we got a question from Jim. I have a fish question for you guys. If a guide / fisherman posts a pic of a bass and says it's 13 pounds, and you can clearly see in the picture,
hell no, I do that all the time.
Not 13 pounds. Is that wrong to call him out, or is it the right thing to call out that he's basically lying?
I call those people out all the time. I usually tell them, you're getting a scale for Christmas this year.
Yeah, right.
Or it's on some of them, some of the local ones where people said they look at this 7-pounder and it's obviously like a 3.5.
Tag him, Jim. Tag him. No.
I'll literally just post a link to like a Bubba scale.
Right.
Yeah, you already called him out. Tag him here so we can. Just...
I call these people out all the time, Jim.
Yeah.
My biggest annoyance with the internet is misinformation.
I gotta say, like, other than RLF Fishing, thanks for the like, brother.
Rodney.
I gotta say, other than like political disputes, I love like tagging one onto the liberals because I think it's fun. But I don't really like to engage in like the fishing community and be negative like that. Like most of the time, I'll just grit my teeth and scroll. But I like telling Democrats that Donald Trump is their daddy.
I'm the opposite. I don't get involved with politics because I hate both sides.
I also like that, but like it's fun to watch their heads explode over nothing. Simple comments. It's great.
My man.
Also anti-Randy Blockett. Nice.
My man.
Dude, I'm gonna have Randy Blockett come on the show, and you guys are gonna duke it out.
I mean, okay.
Be fun.
That would be kind of fun.
It would be kind of fun. Something tells me about 5 minutes into it, he would just disconnect and leave. But
I promise you, I won't be as cordial as Ben Milliken was to him.
yeah, yeah. Ben kept it pretty professional.
Like, I mean, just dispute him with facts. Like,
How about this? Here's a good topic. How about, did you see the clip of Seth Feider
He said
talking
you
to
won't.
Dave Mercer about the
I was
disqualifications?
actually listening to that podcast today, and I wanted to bring that up. That's actually one of the things I wanted to bring up. So the best thing that Seth Feider has ever said, and I totally agree with this. You only need 3 rules in bass fishing: a size limit, when do I need to be in, and don't be a dickhead.
Pretty much.
Did you
Or
see
no,
the,
I'm sorry, it was don't be a piece of shit.
Did you guys see the little reel that he posted with Matt Robertson the other day?
No.
Oh my god! So have you ever seen that funny clip on the internet of those like trailer trash guys that are like back?
Right. The guys at the ramp are saying. Fucking Randy Blockett. And
Have you ever seen that funny video on the internet of like the 2 trailer trash guys that are like back to back and they're like, "You don't want to mess with us."
yeah.
Seth and
Was
Rob,
that what that was?
Yeah, Seth and freaking.
I saw I saw it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, they remade that with
both
Seth
of them without
and
their-
Matt Robertson.
without their shirts on and stuff.
Yeah, with that. Well, and then
And
Seth has the Bassmaster tattoo here.
Matt does.
Matt does.
Yeah.
Matt has it. Well, Seth
had a
Seth
sticker
printed
on
one
it.
out. He put a sticker on his.
That was funny.
Jason, what's up, brother?
But yeah, the three rules for any bass tournament. Yeah, I love it.
I was geeking out.
Size limit. What time do I need to be in? And don't be a piece of shit.
So I'm not gonna lie. I saw that and I actually messaged Seth. I messaged Seth about doing an interview here on Bass and Beer Radio, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. If we can reel Seth onto the show, that'll be a freaking fantastic episode. That would be so much fun.
That would be pretty awesome. But it was interesting what he said, because he was at first pretty reserved about it, and then he wasn't very preserved about it.
That's just Seth.
Thanks for the like, Rodney.
That's just the way he is.
He basically was like, "Yeah, I think one guy was innocent and one guy was
One guy's been doing it for 30 years and finally got caught.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do me a favor, everybody. If you guys haven't already, if you're watching the show, please hit that like button for us. And the share is very important too. When you share, brings more people in here and it makes for a better conversation. So do me a big favor, hit the like and the share button for us.
Yeah, Josh. He mentioned that on Mercer's podcast today, that he's got a bunch of stuff waiting to post to TikTok, but he's waiting. He's almost at 10,000 followers where he can actually get paid for it.
Right?
Is it like dirt stuff or is it just content stuff?
Content.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he's just said he's got a bunch of funny videos and stuff that he's just like waiting to post, and he wants to wait until he can get monetized for it before he posts like the really good ones.
Yeah. Well, Matt Herron's a pretty good guy.
Well, Matt Herron's a pretty good guy.
He said, well, the other guy, though, he said it's about time.
Dave's like, well, which one do you think's innocent? Well, Matt Herron's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Like, it makes me very happy. It makes my heart happy to know that we've had Matt Herron on here several times. 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. Matt Herron's come on the show and talked to us. And he's cool, he's just a genuine good person. He's always willing to come on here and talk with us. And so I'm glad to hear that Matt Herron is out of that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
shit was some bullshit.
You're like, well, Matt Herron's a pretty good guy, and the other guy's been known for doing it for 30 years. So,
well, and here's the other thing too: is like, it's interesting that if that's all true, and we're not in tune enough to know whether it is or not, without firsthand knowledge of it, right? If that is true, the fact that he then basically gets a podium and it turns into a photo op for Bass. How's that? That kind of makes me feel a certain way. Like if he's known for doing this shit and then does this, and then Bass is like, "Oh, come on here and talk about how good of a person you are." Like, it's weird.
I think catering to the fanboys. And here's the problem: is people like Scott Martin and Milliken. Not saying Milliken's done anything wrong, but they have these huge non-tournament fan followings, right?
Yeah.
That don't understand. They don't really they don't understand tournament fishing, and they don't understand why these rules are in place. And this rule's been in place for 10 years. It's not a new rule. So they don't, so you get. You go on any Bassmaster post and you go, look in the comments, and it's like, hashtag free Scott Martin. Like, and they don't know, one, there's video evidence. And from what I've heard, I've not seen the video. I'm waiting for that to be leaked. I know it'll be leaked eventually. That the video evidence is much worse than what Scott has led on, that as far as the situation.
So does that affect Bass's credibility if and when that comes out?
I mean, no, they DQ'd him.
Yeah, but I mean, but then they give him the stage, and then they're like, "Oh, you're a really good guy for doing this, Scott. We really appreciate it for your following the rules and playing ball." And you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
I mean,
if it is as bad as they say, and it's a self-report, you know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if it's that bad, and then Bass turns around and and I understand he has a huge fan base.
I still like his content. I still.
Oh yeah, I
still
do
like
too.
watching. I mean, you know, but
Wow, that's a giant.
But yeah, he's you know, it's not. It's not like this is something new. Like this has been, you know, a cloud on him in the past. So, you know, as far as bringing him on, I don't think they should have. I don't think it really gives them a bad rep, you know, for having him on, you know, during that intermission period, because they need something to fill that time. Because that's when, you know, that period in the day, that's like when they're like swapping out camera batteries and stuff like that. That's why they have that break in the middle of the day. You know, the production crew needs a break, right?
Right.
So, you know, you got to have something. You got to have something to fill in that. You know, could they have gotten somebody else? Probably. I would have rather.
I would have rather seen Matt Herron pissed off.
I would have rather.
Like,
I would have rather had, you know, Jim. I'd rather have Jim on there just like BSing with Dave Mercer about Headwaters or some stupid crap than, you know, this you know, fake sob story that Scott Martin was preaching out there.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying is if it comes out to where this was worse than what we were led to believe, and there was a whole sob story, and there was a whole you're a good guy for doing the right thing, and we really appreciate this, and blah 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 blah, it makes it look fake and it makes it look stupid, in my opinion. Now, I think more of that falls if that is the case, if that's the case, because we don't know until we know. It looks worse on Scott than it does for Bass.
Yes, you should have, Rodney.
But people are saying he's been doing this for a while. So if all the anglers know this has been a thing for a while, how does Bass not know?
So here's what Seth was saying today is like there's the gray area rules, right? So they all know, like it's been, like I said, it's been a rule for a decade, right? That, you know, you need to, you know, when somebody comes up to you, you got to say, hey, I can't get information.
Sure.
He's like, but some people will lead off the conversation with, I can't get any information. And some people will let somebody talk for 20 minutes and then say, well, I can't get information.
Sure.
So that's where kind of the cloudiness comes in, because it's that, you know, from that random dude that comes up and talks, and, you know, some people let them talk until, you know, they can kind of get the juice out of it. And some people, you know, end that conversation immediately.
Jim says maybe people will finally see the real person behind the fake person on TV. If it comes out that way, then yeah, I do think that there's going to be a reckoning. But if there is a video, then there's a video. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It's interesting. I mean,
no, I didn't see that, Josh. They amended it because they basically had a gag order on anglers' wives. Because
wait,
it's
what?
The trait Zaldane rule.
What is that?
So they made a rule this year that anglers' wives could not speak out, essentially against bass. So they couldn't criticize bass. So family members couldn't criticize bass. It was the lesser, like the popular name for it was the trait Zaldane rule, because trait Zaldane's not afraid to say what she is not afraid to. Say what she thinks.
Right. Hey, thanks for joining us, John. Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You know, where Chris has to be, you know, prior to this rule, Chris had to be, you know, the good boy. You know, he can't really speak out about it. But like, if she thought something was stupid, she would call it like it was and say, well, you know, it's freaking stupid that they have to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And Bass, yeah, she is very outspoken. And Bass did not like that because she had some very last year, or she had some very
Chris's wife.
Yeah, she had some very very bad opinions about Bass, and she's very outspoken. She publicly, you know, said these on her podcast.
Is Chris okay with that?
And yeah. I'm sure he thinks it as well. He just can't say anything.
Right. Right.
But they made a rule. They made the trait Zaldane rule. that was in the rules for the 2025.
So
season.
what if you're not
That
married?
ang-
Is it
angle-
okay if you're not married?
Wait, so it's actually called a Zaldane rule?
No, that's what the anglers call it
Okay.
because it was made because of
you can't
stuff that
you
she's
can't belittle BASS on your freaking.
anglers' wives can't. So anglers' wives or significant others cannot.
Or
cannot-
significant others.
All right, that's some. You're overstepping boundaries, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You're
I kinda draw a
You're
line
trying to
there.
shut down freedom of speech, and that's bullshit. Another probably not one of the reasons, but yeah, Matt Herron left and said "fuck you," so there's a reason for that. It's because it's all crap.
I'm not.
Josh, Trey don't care what Chris thinks. That is blatantly obvious. She is not afraid to. She has a very strong personality. I like Trey Zaldane. Really sucks that she got diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah,
What?
that's why she stopped fishing. That's why she stopped fishing the opens.
No
Oh,
shit.
shit. That's very sad. She's young.
Yeah,
That sucks.
Wow.
That sucks.
Oh man.
yeah. She's what, like 35.
Damn, dude.
Damn, man.
That's
Prayers
that's
out
brutal.
prayers out to her and
Yeah, that
prayers
was-
out to Chris. When was that information announced?
Early last year or 2 years ago.
Oh wow. Damn.
She talked about it. I mean, she talked about that. That was why she stopped fishing the opens and stopped trying to, like pursue like a fishing career. Yeah, that sucks.
That makes me honestly want to go listen to her even more because she's outspoken. She's got her opinions. She's got shit going on, but she's still putting on. So I like it. Good for her.
Yeah, I like her. I've always liked her. She had in fact, the rod that I bought Candace when she started bass fishing with me is a Trape Zaldane series.
Nice.
Nice. Who's that through?
It was Wright and McGill.
A what?
Wright and McGill. It was that's the same company that made the Skeet Reese rods, the yellow Skeet Reese rods.
Oh,
I can't tell if those rods were good or
There's
they were
only
shit.
one
They were
dude. I've only ever seen. There's a guy that fishes the GP that I see every once in a while. Every fish he catches is apparently 8 pounds, and
Is it me?
he's got one of those like racks that go up the side of his boat.
Yes,
Oh,
and
I have
the
seen
Teal
that.
Ranger.
Yeah.
The Teal Ranger.
yeah.
I know exactly
The
what you're
Teal
talking
Ranger.
about.
He's got all those old yellow skeet reese rods that are
Yeah.
freaking up there. Every fish he catches is 8 to 9 pounds, guarantee you.
I bought my uncle a skeet reach rod at the flea market the other week.
He's obviously wrong, but that's what he says.
Oh, from that guy outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it one of the cranking rods?
Yep. It was, dude. That thing's like a fucking pool noodle. It's awesome.
It's a fucking
Maybe a little harsh at times, but the media. Yeah. She can be a little harsh, but yeah, she's cool. I really like her. I'm a big fan of, the women empowerment. And not thinking that they need to be forced to the background. Like,
I mean, if she can fish, then
people
she
do.
can fish. Who cares?
yeah, she can fish.
Right. I mean, if you can fish, shit, I don't care. Whether you sit, stand on your hands,
never
whatever
really-
you want to do.
she never really
Shit,
did
her
it.
and Chris do a bunch of badass stuff. From
She never really did
shooting
anything
guns
like in
and
the
hunting to
in the
bass
opens,
fishing.
but like I've watched her catch fish like on Chris's videos and her own videos. She can fish. Speaking of women in the opens, I wonder how Christine Fisher's doing in the opens. I haven't checked
I haven't
out.
looked.
Making the jump from the kayak world.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, she was like a big time, like really good, on the in the kayak in the kayak world. Let's look that up. Let's see how she's doing. Bassmaster. I think she's fishing both divisions. Opens. I want to see
What do you think, Chloe?
AOY.
What the fuck does this even mean?
What?
I don't even know how to interpret that.
I don't even know how to interpret this. Kyle, if you're watching, are you fucking retarded?
It's-
I don't get it.
Show it to Chloe. Maybe she gets it. Christine is badass. I remember her catching 211s at Headwaters same day years ago. She's awesome. That's pretty cool. Was she in a kayak or was she in a boat? That's a good question, actually. So she went from the kayak. Did she win a bunch of kayak opens and then go to the bass opens, or what? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, she's won a lot of money in the Bassmaster kayak series, the Hobie, the Hobie series. Yeah,
Cool.
Like she's consistently in the top of the field in those tournaments over the last 4 or 5 years. Find on page.
Are you looking for her?
Where's like her home base? Is she like from the? I mean, probably from the south,
Hey,
right?
tell Frank to jump on.
Not very. Let's see. She was
Frankie.
She has fished one. It looks like she's only fishing the one division, and she was 125th.
Is that the Christie girl?
Christine Fisher.
Yeah, yeah.
Where was that at?
Clarksville.
Okay.
What's up, Lil John?
She says hammer. She can fish. Back in the day, she was killing it in headwaters before it was open to boats. That's pretty cool.
She was on the freaking. Well, she's competing out of a boat now, right?
No, she's fishing the opens out of a kayak.
I thought she got a boat.
Yes, she has a boat. She's running one of those new Rangers.
Okay,
Oh, the 521R or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice.
that's tight. Thanks for the like, buddy.
Those aluminums. Yeah, she can definitely fish, like, and she loves fishing. Like, you know, my favorite like videos that she does. She loves river muskie fishing, like small river muskie fishing, and she's got some really really cool muskie fishing videos.
I remember one of the videos where like she was out fishing in that kayak, and somebody right next to her hooked into a 7-pound smallmouth. That was a pretty cool video.
Yeah, she called this like muskie, like she like looked away and like her mate was like next to the boat, and like this giant muskie, like, and you can see it on the GoPro, it just goes and she's just like and she just starts freaking out. She's like, oh my god. Yeah, it was great. It's a good video. Yeah, it was cool.
Jim says she's my female angler crush.
You need higher standards. Sorry.
Oh, come on. We might have her come on the show. You can't say that.
Just saying. So here's another cool thing that happened. That happens at the Classic, and I just want to. So they have a celebrity pro-am. They started this last year. So on one of the off days.
Josh says not a big pool there, Jim. She'd be in the top 3 no matter what.
So in one of the off days, they have the celebrity pro-am where they have these like different celebrities.
I think she would smoke us at fishing.
At fishing?
I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
So this celebrity pro-am, there's a lot of pretty cool people.
Oh, yeah. Stale-cracker's fishing that
Stale-cracker,
shit.
the
Hell
Diesel
yeah.
Boys.
The Diesel Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I did see
You know
something
what?
about that.
Travis Pastrana did it one year, but he's not doing it again.
Yeah.
I was pretty
That was last year.
hooked on that.
Travis Pastrana. Last year was like Travis Pastrana, Randy Moss.
Oh,
Randy Moss actually bass fishes though.
Yeah.
Billy
Which is pretty
Strings,
cool.
dude.
Billy Strings.
I'm not
So
going to
here's-
lie. So
Billy
it's going to
Strings
be
has a
between
bass
Stale
cat.
Cracker and Billy Strings.
Aaron Lewis runs a Ranger.
110%.
Yeah, there's
Is
a lot of
Aaron
guys.
Lewis in it?
No, I'm
Well,
looking it up right
He
now.
does run a Ranger though.
Aaron Lewis is a big fisherman.
Yes.
Billy Strings is a big fisherman, and obviously Stale Cracker probably just does a bunch of
Do you
different
know
shit.
who? It's funny. Do you know who else is a big bass fisherman?
Who?
Lucas Black.
Who's that?
Who was that?
He was the main character in Tokyo Drift.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's pretty
okay.
cool.
He was also in one of those NCIS shows, NCIS New Orleans. But
I got you.
But
That's
like
pretty
you don't think like the Tokyo Drift dude, super into bass fishing. Fishes Toyotas, fishes BFLs.
No shit.
Has a FXR skeeter.
Dale, thanks for joining from Atlantic City, brother. Hope you're having a great time out there.
All right, I have the pairings for the celebrity program.
Weren't you just in like Cancun last week too?
So some of these people I have no idea who they are. So we're gonna go down here.
Got a
and
lot
look.
of football players and stuff in there.
So we have Barcavius Mingo, NFL player. Ben Cleveland, Raven.
Yep.
Hey, I like that.
We have Billy Strings.
I've hunted with Ben Cleveland before, actually.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. We goose hunted before.
Goose hunting with Ben Cleveland.
Me, Buckland, Ben Cleveland, a couple other guys. Yep.
That's pretty sick.
That's cool. Yep. Braun Breaker.
Cool guy.
We call him Sasquatch. He can't fit in a fucking blind.
Well, no shit.
I'm not kidding, dude. Like, we're field hunting for geese, and like you got to put Ben like 30 yards away so he doesn't fuck you up.
Do you have a connection?
Not really.
Do you
I
know-
just hunted one of them once or twice through a mutual guy.
This
Should
might-
have him come on and talk about bass fishing.
I feel like if anybody knows this person, it'll be Tony. Braun Breaker.
No.
Yeah, he's a WWE person. So
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
don't know
Is it
what
Braun Strowman?
It just says Braun Breaker.
Is he a large man with a beard?
I don't know. It doesn't have a picture.
Oh.
And I don't feel like going to his Instagram.
Playing a golf tournament. That
So
sounds
they-
like a good
I'll
time,
look it
man.
up. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Dakota-
Enjoy it.
They have Dakota Meyer. He was a veteran and Medal of Honor recipient. Damone Clark from the Dallas Cowboys. Diesel Dave from Diesel Brothers.
The Diesel Brothers.
Heavy
Diesel
D
Dave.
from Diesel Brothers. Hood Fishing's doing it again.
Hood Fishing. He won it last year.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Jake Jorgensen, don't know who that is. Jeffrey Simmons
Heard Jorgensen.
from the Tennessee Titans. Stale Cracker. Kevin Dotson from the Los Angeles Rams. Lavelle Crawford, comedian. Pat,
I thought that this is put on by Mike Iaconelli, isn't it?
no,
It's not.
Bassmaster.
It is Bassmaster. I thought it was a Mike. I thought it was an Ike thing.
Well, here's another good one. Pat Roach from Trailer Park Boys.
Nice.
I don't. Oh yeah, dude. What is his? It's not. What is his name in Trailer Park Boys?
I don't remember.
God.
It's not Bubbles, right?
No.
It's not
It's
Bubbles. He's the shirtless guy.
It's the shirtless guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
Patrick Queen from the Steelers, formerly from the Ravens. Rhett Lashley, SMU head coach for football. Ross Chastain, NASCAR driver.
Cool.
Ryan Krauser here. I was actually pretty excited about this one. Ryan Krauser.
Randy. His name's Randy.
Yeah. So
Sure, it's not Ricky. Oh, no, it's Randy.
Ryan Krauser's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist shot putter.
Oh, okay.
He's a big dude.
It would be sick if Julian and Randy were like fishing that off. That'd be super cool.
You have Sydney Wells from Barstool Sports.
That's pretty cool.
Not too bad to look at. I may have perused her Instagram earlier.
Nice.
Tony D'Angelo from WWE. I don't know who he is. And here's the last one, which cracks me up because I fish against this dude every freaking weekend on the bay. Trent Cole.
Nice. He's the Eagles player, right?
He was
really?
Yeah, he was the Eagles. He was the Eagles linebacker. Very, very good Eagles linebacker. He's actually in the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Nice.
But I literally fish against him like every weekend on the bay.
Eat another cheeseburger, Randy.
He can. So
That geeks me out.
I'm putting. They have pairings on here too. So based on the pairings, you have Stephen Browning and Trent Cole.
Cool.
Stephen Browning can catch some fish, and Trent Cole can catch some fish.
Do they have
Trent can catch some
like
fish.
guys that are running the boats for them?
So it's a team tournament.
Right, but do they have like a somebody who's
They're
just running
with-
the boat?
No, they're with the pro. So
Oh, okay.
it's
okay.
Stephen Browning, who former Elite Series pro.
Oh, gotcha.
His
Okay.
his son is actually on the Elite Series now. Steven's trying to make it back to the Elite Series, fishing the Opens. He left MLF, trying to make it back to the Elite Series so he can fish the Elite Series with his son, which would be super cool.
That is pretty cool.
Rick Clunn and Ross Chastain, Mike Iaconelli and Billy Strings. You got Matty Wong with Diesel Dave. That's
Nice.
Matty Wong and Diesel Dave.
Yeah.
That's a sick team.
I don't know who Tony D'Angelo is, but he's with Matt Robertson, so I hope that's a good pairing.
Robertson.
I hope Tony D'Angelo is like the most like, I don't know who he is, but I hope he's like the most like proper like
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
well-mannered
my-
person
with-
ever.
On the back of
With
Matt
Matt
Robertson's boat. That would be ridiculous.
Pat Roach from Trailer Park Boys is with Luke Palmer. Jake Jorgensen's with Jonathan Kelly. Jonathan Kelly, cool dude. That was Jonathan Kelly was Johnny Duarte's partner in college.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and now fishes on the Elite Series. Ben Cleveland's with Joey Cifuentes.
Nice.
Dakota, I have no idea who Dakota Meyer is, but he's with Gerald Swindle. Hood fishing with Dakota Ebear. That's a
Dakota Ebear.
Dakota Ebear's a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, best combo ever. They better have the camera on them 100% of the time. Stale Cracker and Cliff Crochet.
Nice.
Yeah.
You won't understand a word either one of them is saying.
Yeah. Old Stale Cracker, dude. Stale Cracker makes some good content. I like watching Stale Cracker. Some of the stuff that Stale Cracker makes me so hungry when I'm watching it. It just looks so damn good.
Is that the guy from Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the freaking
That's money,
mullet
dude.
and shit.
Yeah.
That's money, dude.
That's money, dude. And then you have, and then you have.
While we wait, we hydrate.
They should have put him with Matt Robertson.
That would have been crazy.
So
they'd have been drunk out on the boat.
I know. That's why they should have done it.
So him and
Like,
Cliff Crochet are actually friends.
oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Nice.
They've known each other for a really long time. Cliff Crochet was talking about him on a podcast one time.
Nice.
Cliff Crochet is a funny dude too. He's a cool dude. I like Cliff Crochet. I really hope he makes it back to the Elite Series because it will make it. Yes, thank you.
I'll take one more, Chad.
It will. Cliff Crochet, he's a hell of a fisherman, and John C. Riley and Will Ferrell fishing.
That would actually kind of be funny.
John C. Riley?
And Will Ferrell.
Oh, that's right. He is sponsoring Cliff. That's right.
Wait, does John C. Riley actually fish this thing?
No. So Stale Cracker actually sponsors Cliff Crochet. He's got the Cajun Baby. He's got Cajun Baby sponsorship.
That's geek.
Or not the. So he's the Cajun Baby. He's got the. Or what's his spice? What's Stale Cracker called that?
Oh, he's got the Cajun two-step.
The Cajun two-step. Yeah.
I have it in my cabinet.
So he's got Cliff Crochet's got the Cajun two-step on his
It's
boat
actually it's fair to Midland. It's okay, the Cajun two-step.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to be used to that.
So
sort of
Josh, from what I
system.
actually understand, he didn't get kicked off the police force for things related to his content. I actually read online that
It was a DUI while he was driving a boat.
no, I think it had something to do with animal abuse. But how much of that is actually true, I have no idea.
So,
The internet says a lot of shit.
he had said,
Boat accident. So we got three possibles here.
well, that it was a boat accident. That's what he had said that. That he made a mistake. He had been drinking. He was in a boat accident.
Oh.
So there was a DUI with operating a boat.
Let me get that.
And that came from him, so I would tend to believe that, but because he was talking about how he had been a fantastic police officer, multiple commendations for service and stuff like that, and one bad thing happens and they just turn their back.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
But I understand. I understand their point of view on that as well. Especially in today's day and age. He was impaired, but not impaired.
Either way, no matter what, the guy's making more money now off of the social media content than he would if he was a freaking cop. So
He sank the boat on Lake Superior, the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Stale Cracker went to Lake Superior and sank a boat all the way from
Dude, what a
Louisiana?
great. That's one of the best songs ever written.
It is a great song.
What is it?
The Wreck of the Edmund
Edmund
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Don't even tell me you've never heard that song before.
He probably has.
Dude, take a lap. Are you kidding me? That's one of the best songs ever.
You want me to go run around the house right now?
Maybe the neighborhood, honestly. Maybe.
I mean, you are trying to get in shape.
That's true.
Even Little John Hansen says it's a top 5 song.
Dude, that kid knows more classic good music than anybody I know. I'm telling you, he doesn't listen to any of this junk garbage crap that's out now. Everything that Little John listens to is fantastic classic tunes. Everything.
From the time that song was made until the time he was born, you could have lived your entire life up until now.
Oh my God. Josh says, dude, a local radio station used to do parodies and has a song called The Rectum of Edmund Fitzgerald. Oh my God. Yep, I'm looking that up after this.
The Rectum of Edmund Fitzgerald.
Dude, for real though, that is one of the best songs ever written. You gotta listen to it.
It's a very good. It's a very good song.
Is it better than Freebird?
It's up there. It really is. It's a different kind of song. You gotta listen to the words.
It's very deep.
It is very deep, like The Wreck, which is very deep.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, dear.
Just saying.
Anyway.
He knows firsthand on the ski lift.
Well, what else we got? Because it's 9
Was he just,
o'clock,
like,
and we're
jamming?
talking about rectums of
Was
shipwrecks
he just
here.
jamming to like classic rock?
Yeah,
Sheila?
all the time. He's got one of those little speakers that he hangs down there. He doesn't turn it up too loud, but it's good jams.
Yeah.
It's better than some of the crappy rap that other people like play over their speakers obnoxiously loud.
I don't like when anybody plays music obnoxiously loud. Like if I can hear it from more than like 30 feet away, it's too loud.
Yeah.
Like if we're outside.
Yeah.
Like if it's on a speaker. Like if I can clearly hear it from like 30 or 30 feet away, it's too loud. Because you're 4 feet away. You don't need to have it that loud to hear it.
There is a lot of dead soldiers on this table tonight.
Well, we at least got to go till I finish this one.
Yeah, I'm on my last one myself. Because we're getting to be about that time anyway.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Fishing up here is starting to turn on.
It's still cold, but you can catch them.
Cold, but
Yeah, it's been slow, but some people are catching them. I haven't got a chance to get out really on the bay. I hear it's fishing pretty well right now.
Dan, no, I did not. Please post that link in the comments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Shitting off the side of the boat. It was not Matt Robertson that was
In a tournament.
that peed off the front of the boat live on the television too.
He was shitting off the side of a boat in a tournament. I think he may have had a camera on the boat.
That's awesome. That is ridiculous. That
He
guy
says-
really don't care. He's my spirit animal.
Josh says follow the spawn north. I mean, you could follow the spawn north all the way to July, honestly. You really can.
Heading out Sunday to Muddy Creek with your buddy. Okay. Have at it. Muddy Creek's going to be cold.
Yeah, it's going to be like 38 degrees.
Hope you're going trout fishing.
Right.
Where are you what are you doing, John? What are you doing, little John?
3 days. I got 6 fish. Might get 4 pounds combined.
Damn.
Wow. That is tough. That's
Wow.
exceptionally tough.
Wow.
I guess that's that super post spawn lag, though.
Guess you better start throwing them shiners.
Right? I bet them shiner fishermen are catching plenty.
Damn, you're going to piss him off. He's not going to watch ever again.
Come on, Jim's like our brother now. He's coming back.
Oh yeah. I might have to hit the upper bay tomorrow. I might get up early and shoot up to Haverty degrees. Smallmouth on a dam way up the creek, right down from his house. I mean, if you're up,
Are you guys going to be in like kayaks or are you just fishing from the shore?
if you're up Muddy Creek, watch the areas that you're fishing, because they do close a lot of Muddy Creek for trout fishing. So
That's a good point, actually.
Just a heads up. And Pennsylvania doesn't. They don't fuck with that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
It's
so
still it absolutely.
why is it closed for trout fishing if you're not allowed to fish it?
They close trout season. They close the creek for trout season for a closure
For
period
trout season only.
Yeah, They close it for
Yeah,
there's
we're
a
fishing for trout.
Well,
they
so-
close trout streams
Yeah.
during a certain period. So anything that is a designated trout stream gets closed for a certain period.
Jim says I'll cut my grass before I throw a shiner.
Went out March 1st and put 12 in the boat in 2 hours in 39-degree water. Yeah, I don't mind fishing cold water. The problem is I was
Andy
out.
Hauser, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining.
Hey, Andy, what's going on?
I got to ask Andy my motor question before
would-
we sign off.
Do it.
I was
Go ahead and let Paul finish his thought first.
I was out on the Potomac last weekend, and not only was the water cold, like 40, 42, 43, but it was also chocolate milk, which sucks.
Yeah. So, Andy, curious to your opinion on this, and I apologize for you guys that have been with us all night because this will now be the 4th time I've said this, but I'm running the XB, and I get to like 56, 5,700 RPMs, 69 to 71 miles an hour on the bullet, and then it's like I feel like the prop loses grip. You can feel the slightest vibration, and the RPMs will drop back down to like 52, and it stays at 52. Now, I figured if the prop was blowing out, it would hit the rev limiter, and it doesn't, so the RPMs actually go back down. I think I got a fuel issue. Curious to your opinion.
You're just trying to be one of those people who call up Andy and
Well, Andy joined us, so I don't feel as bad. But yeah, but no.
Remember? I just remember him saying that when he was on that one day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Andy Hauser with Team Marine in the house. If you guys haven't gone to Team Marine, check out Team Marine.
Yeah, definitely check them out.
I'm going to post a link in the comments here.
Oh.
Team Marine Services.
I think you may be a little, you may hit it a little late because Santee has been fire the last week.
Santee's been really, really good recently.
They'll still get on them down there.
Oh yeah, oh they're still gonna catch fish,
Yeah.
but like, did you see that one that Andrew caught the other day? Almost 9. Andrew Blair.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That thing was huge.
Yeah. Or it was like 8.5. I think it was 8.46 or something.
Yeah,
something
we
like that.
posted it on the page. I think it was Jim.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah, they've been.
And he said, what was the RPM? So I get to like at 70 miles an hour, like 56, 5,700 on the 250XB. And then I can feel the acceleration stop. It's almost like the prop is slipping a little bit and it drops back down to 52, 5,300. And you can't get it to go back up until you get off of it a little bit, like let it reset and then hit it again. So I thought at first it was maybe the rev limiter, like maybe I had the wrong computers in the motor, but I don't think that's the case. Because if I figured if the prop was losing grip, it would redline. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not a mechanic at all.
Weak injectors, who knows?
It could be. I mean, it could be. I mean, the fuel pump, everything on that motor is 20 years old. So who knows what it could be. That's why it's at a shop and not my driveway, because I won't figure it out. And I'll probably break something trying to figure it out.
Don't forget to remove these from their freezer.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
mine's a Michelob slushy.
Yeah,
Is it a
Which is
slushy?
good.
That's delicious.
It is delicious.
it's very cold. I mean, it's like perfect, but they're going to freeze very soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
John Hansen said he's hoping for a spawn topwater bite. Dad wants to punch mats. I didn't know there was.
John likes to punch.
I didn't know there was grass like that down there.
So you said they're going to Marion. I'm not real.
Oh, I was thinking of Santee. Yeah. I don't know Marion either. I've never been to Marion. Drove over Santee. I mean, if you drive to Florida, you drive right over Santee, right past the Gambler RIP factory. It was literally right on the side of 95. You went over the bridge to on 95 going south to Florida or wherever you're going south, and literally the Gambler factory was right there on the right. I wanted to stop when we went down.
Did you see the post I sent you of that guy that's selling the brand new, like the 2022 Gambler?
Yeah, I
Got it for like 65.
I'm telling you right now, if I didn't have a badass bullet, I would be very heavily considering it.
But is there any warranties for it anymore? Exactly. So I probably wouldn't do that.
But you have literally the last Gambler that's probably ever going to be built.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, to be fair, like, you really don't need any warranty. Generally.
Yeah, well, you probably still have the warranty on the motor.
Yeah, what you would.
Yeah, but the boat you don't.
But what I mean, to be fair, like, how often do boats need, like, hulls need to be warranted?
You want to
know what
talk
I mean?
about Ranger? All the time.
Well, you
Glass
don't,
hulls.
You don't need it until you do. I mean, what if you hit something? Andy, will it get right back to wide open? It does not. So it'll sit at that 52 to 53. The only way it gets back to wide open is if you like bring it back to like 50 miles an hour, like 5,000 RPMs, and then try to stretch it out again. So when it comes down, if you stay on the throttle, you're buried at like 52, 5,300 RPMs. Andy said, don't say it's the last G, you never know. Andy, we're hoping you buy the molds, man. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not you, John's going to buy them at JCS Marine. One of the two. That'd be pretty awesome. I know
I'll go pick
where
them
the
up.
molds are, but I'm not at liberty to say. I know where they are.
I'll go pick them up with you guys.
If anybody wants to go buy gambler molds and then hire people that are really smart at building boats, let me know if you got $1 million, because I'll do it. Because I'm telling you, I know where these molds are sitting at this moment.
You don't.
Outside of a grid coordinate, I know where they are.
If
not
Chad chucked that Ranger, he should buy that Lund that John has for sale.
Yeah.
That thing is bad.
That thing is badass.
Like, if
That
you want an
Lund is
aluminum
awesome.
boat,
It's
like
only
that thing,
It's only $80,000.
it costs more. Yeah, it costs more than my Skeeter.
Jim says White River's going to buy the molds. I don't think.
Oh,
I
hell
don't
no.
I don't even know.
No, they don't want to.
And he
Yeah.
says, or both of us.
Oh,
Sounds like we
Oh
need
my
to set it
God.
up.
That would be the best. Could you imagine? That would be
Dude,
the
that would
best.
be super cool. JCS and freaking Team Marine going in on it.
With-
that would be amazing.
with Matt Downs designing aluminum boats for him.
Or just
Ooh,
or Matt
yeah.
designs the lids. Matt makes. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that'd be awesome.
That's a dream team right there.
And he says, "You tell me where they are."
They're in a barn in South Carolina. They're in a barn in South Carolina. That's what I know, and that is from a reputable source. I won't say who because I've already probably said too much, but they are from somebody that was on your episode of Team Marine that you probably know who I'm talking about. That's where they were as of about 6 months ago. Last when I was told. Is my tack correct? I don't know. But given that it's a bullet, I would say it's not. At 5,600 RPMs, it should probably be at an inch below pad. I should be higher than 7 miles an hour.
Can you put vessel view on that motor?
No.
Well, you might not be if the.
I did think about that though.
If
the tack's
something's
wrong.
if something is wrong with the motor, like you're
Send that motherfucker the pin.
And he says send him a
Goddamn
pin.
motherfucker the pin.
So yeah, Morgan. Now we got Morgan talking to Andy. You may not be, if you have an an injector issue, that might be why you're only getting your tack might be right, but you might not be getting the
Sure.
RPMs that you need to be.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure it's something that, that I'm just not going to find because I don't have the experience to do it. That's why it's at a shop and not in my driveway. But,
It's just at the wrong shop.
well, allegedly. It's unfortunate that I don't live.
Well, I just mean it's not at Morgan's shop.
Well, it's not at Morgan's shop. It's not at John's shop. It's not at Andy's shop. Damn it.
I don't think he was talking about.
Oh.
He wasn't talking about that Chevelle, Lil John.
Well-
He's talking about the molds for Gambler.
He said it sounds like a rev limiter.
So I thought the same thing. I really did.
So while Andy's on here, Andy,
Yes, Josh.
I need to
Yes.
I need to talk to Tony to work some things out. But I am coming out in August or early September to pre-practice on the Mississippi. And I am going to try to drag Tony with me because I don't want to drive 17 hours by myself. And we may have to stop by and pay you a little visit.
I would be
While we're out there.
100% down.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I've got a tournament on the river and on the Mississippi in October. So I want to get out there and
Andy says fly him out.
Let's go.
That would be the greatest video of all time. Fly Andy out to fix the XB and find the gambler molds. Dude, it's like a treasure map.
Let's get John, Andy, and Morgan together to start working on your bullet. Oh my god!
I know, that'd be awesome.
You'd have the fastest bullet ever
just
made.
get them all and then get them all to sign it.
Oh,
Get them all to sign the wrap.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, that would be the best thing ever.
That'd be super cool.
Dude, I didn't think about that. I should have had like a part of the bullet where all the guys at JCS. Well, we're going back up, but I
we're
should have
going
had
back.
all the guys at JCS like sign their name in the bullet.
Just get them to sign the wrap.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. Like I don't even care. Like I'm gonna have them literally fucking sign that.
Josh
thing.
says we'd break the internet with that video.
Yeah,
That would be pretty
yeah.
awesome.
You'd be bringing some of the greats in this freaking together in one video. It'd be
I'm assuming
phenomenal.
this is in reference to saying that we may stop by and see him, where he says I'm there all the fucking time.
Right. Oh, hey, Andy, so we talked about this a little bit earlier. What's your opinion on there's a shop, I don't know where they're located. I think it's in like the eastern part of the United States.
Wherever it may be.
That's flashing Mercury.
Okay, we're not going to talk about where or anything like that. We just heard
Well, I don't
that
know where
somebody
it
is
is.
flashing Mercuries.
An undisclosed location.
Yeah, there's a shop out there that's not anyone that we know that's flashing Mercuries. What's your opinion on that? I'm curious because it's weird how
I feel like a flashed Merc would be nasty.
I also think it would be nasty. I wish they could do it. Just to see how far it goes. I mean, we know that the NISPRO show is awesome. I mean, it's terrible that you can't flash a Mercury, in my opinion.
I understand why they don't. It's got to be a good business decision. Like
It doesn't hurt Yamaha.
yeah, but look how many people buy 200 Yamahas instead of buying 250s.
Is it that? I don't know how many that is.
I mean,
I know is there someone?
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Yes.
Look,
Hey,
it's
Matt.
like all the greats are here right now. We got Matt Downs, the freaking aluminum boat guy. Andy is up in here.
Rodney
John
says-
is up in here.
Rodney says he'd
Morgan
die.
Oliver.
Rodney says
Morgan is up in here.
Rodney says he would die if he flashed his Merc. He has a bass cat.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that thing would roll.
Yeah. What do you have a Puma,
Trick
Rodney?
tins.
I can't remember what which bass cat you have.
But yeah, I thought it was
Puma,
a rev
Cougar?
limiter too, Andy. I really did. And we went down a rabbit hole and we thought it was maybe they had the wrong computers on the motor, but I called Mercury. Mercury
Puma,
said they're the
okay,
right
yeah, that's
computers, so I don't know. That's again, I can only do so much before I'm taking this to somebody that actually knows because I think I know, but I don't, and I'm man enough to admit that I don't. So here you go, mechanic. Please fix my shit. So
Rodney's boat is gorgeous, by the way. It's black and like teal. It's like mostly black with like teal pinstripes.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
With like the
John's,
teal, like the teal lightning bolt on the side.
John's
That's
bass cat.
That thing's
Actually,
gorgeous.
I was going to say John's bass cat's the fastest boat that I've been in, but I think Kevin's boat was going faster.
It probably was.
And it was more stable. Because it was doing almost
But it's wider, though.
It was doing 80 miles an hour, and Kevin was going like this.
It's wider though.
Freaking like 78 miles an hour down Lake Anna, and Kevin's going like this.
Andy, new fuel line. So I got a new fuel line going from the tank to the motor, but that's it. Now, here's one that you'll actually like. This is a funny story. You guys were both there for this.
Come on.
I had a fuel bleeder line pop off on my
Yeah,
XB
yeah.
at Lake Anna. One of the bleeder lines that runs right behind the butterfly valves, it popped off and it got stuck in my butterfly valve, which meant my throttle was wide open. So I come and pull off the hot foot, and we're not slowing down. I pull back on the hot foot, we're not slowing down. I shit my pants a little bit, and then pulled the damn kill switch.
Kill switch.
And I was like, "What the hell
What
just
the hell
happened?"
just happened?
So then I started up, and as soon as it fires, I'm like, okay, this is a problem. So I get it back, and I'm looking, throttle linkage looks good, going through the motions of like what little I know. And then I'm like, son of a bitch. And I don't know anything about
So
XBs.
how did you get it back without going 80 miles an hour straight into the ramp?
I trolled in because I was only 100 yards away.
That's true.
And then I literally pulled after
You know,
about...
you're really lucky that happened right as you were getting back to the house.
Well, I ended up finding the problem is that the bleed line came off and it literally got stuck in the butterfly valve and held it wide open. Held the throttle wide open.
So what other shit and gunk could have gone up in there?
Not much. Not much. Because it wasn't the tip of the fuel line, which was brittle plastic. It was like when it came off, it was just flopping around and then it just got held up in there.
I would just like
But it was a no shit moment. That
I
was
would just
fun.
like to point out that Rodney's bass cat, his fastest he has gotten is 80.7 miles an hour.
That's
and that
moving.
is scooting.
Yeah, that's fast.
Guys, we are almost to 300 comments tonight. Let's hit that 300 comment mark. Come on.
300.
Love hitting that 300 comment mark. It's always fun. We have a lot of freaking interaction from all the guys that get on here, and it just makes this podcast so much more interesting.
I need to
The sooner you can get me dates for your Wisconsin, your
I
Wisconsin
need to talk to you
trip.
to figure out what dates are good for you. I can go whenever.
Okay, and it's in end of August, September.
Either end of August, first week of September. I have 1 week that I can't go
That's
because
fast.
because Candace will be out of town.
How long are you planning on going?
5 days.
Oh yeah, I can do that. When are we leaving?
It'd be like a Wednesday.
Oh, that's even better. Come home on like a Monday.
Come home on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 days of leave. I got that. Yeah, that's too easy.
Go out, drive out Wednesday, fish Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Okay.
or fish.
Jim gets the message.
No, I'm down. Yeah, I'm definitely down.
Maybe a half a day. Go in,
Yeah.
see Andy or something like that.
78
drive
with
home on
live
Sunday.
wells
Yeah,
full. That's
100%.
fast.
100%.
Now, are most of the pros boats that are out on the pro circuit running Bassmasters, are most of them guys? They're not. Most of them guys are running that 70 to 75 mile an hour range. I feel like. How many of them are running
pros?
boats that are going 80 plus? Yeah, the pros.
Very few.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't even cracking 70.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got to
Well, I
think
guess they have a fully loaded boat. I mean, fully
loaded.
loaded.
Yeah. I mean, I remember at one time Ish Monroe was keeping a spare trolling motor in the front of his boat.
Yeah, that's insane. But he ran Ranger too, which is already a heavy, slow boat.
Look, Rodney got the message. Hell yeah.
Plug final filter on your VST.
So it's funny because when I called the shop that I took it to, the first thing he said was, "That's probably a VST issue," and I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'm dropping it off." You know. So that was the first thing he said.
Appreciate you, Rodney.
But so Andy, we appreciate it, man, and I'm excited to get up there in August and with Paul and hopefully get a chance to check you guys out and walk through your shop.
Jim says when you guys start heading west, I should come down south.
There you go.
That'd be a good ass time.
You should. That'd be fun.
Jim, let's hit a couple strip clubs.
I'm sure you'll hit all of them.
And some
lakes.
And some strip mines.
Right.
Strip mines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what some of those lakes are down there.
Oh, dude, Andy, can we ask you this question? If we come up and stop in and see you, can we see the mint champion that's never seen the water?
I think it's at his house.
It's the size of the end of your
I'm not going to
pinky
ask
finger.
The filter is the size of the end of your pinky finger. Yeah. Yep.
I believe it.
Well, what is it? My pinky finger or his pinky finger? Because
Those
my
are two
pinky
different
finger
pinky
is much
fingers.
smaller than his
There's
pinky
a little
finger.
bit of little sausage finger going on.
I mean, to be fair, it's a 2002 XB. It's a 24-year-old motor, assuming it was made in 21. So.
Yes, you can find that at in Bowley's quarters.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so Andy, that's actually what I think it is. But again, I'm afraid the more I tear into shit, because I'm not a good mechanic at all. I'm a bull in a china shop when it comes to doing mechanical things.
Set up a date with Morgan. We take it to Morgan.
Oh yeah. I've already talked to him. Once I get it back, we're gonna go down there, even if it's running perfect, just to get it right and dial it in.
What's a strip club? It's cocaine and hookers.
Nice. And there you have it. John says, "Cool, I never knew about that." It's like, just wait a couple years, buddy.
Oh man, this is terrible.
There you go. But anyway, so but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I will say, man, I'm impressed with the way that boat rides, and like for his way that as light as people say it is, it's pretty awesome.
I don't get it. I still don't get it. Who's looking at booty? I haven't seen a butthole this whole podcast. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Morgan said didn't realize that motor hadn't been
Something,
gone through.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
So yep. So Morgan, when I had the motor, I bought it from Duck River out in Tennessee. I had it shipped to JCS Marine, and all I asked those gentlemen to do was, hey, just bolt it up.
You'll go home
We never
smelling
went
like
through
cotton
it,
candy and
never
covered
did
in glitter. It's like arts and crafts, but dirtier. Oh my god. Oh, this is great.
So Morgan, just to give you some background, I picked that thing up for $3,100. It was a used motor from Duck River. They said they compression tested it. It was good. It was, hey, if you want it, let us know.
Morgan,
You sound disappointed.
It's because he was. It's because he was too cheap.
I was too cheap. I should have had the injectors going through. John mentioned it to me.
Could have done the
I said,
VST
"I'm not
filter.
doing it."
Could have done the VST filters while he was at it too.
I could
He'll
have.
go home smelling like cotton candy covered in glitter, like arts and crafts.
So I could have had everything going through while it was up there, and I was like, I'm gonna roll the dice. And hey, when you roll the dice, you roll the
Snail
dice.
trail.
You roll the dice. You roll the dice. And that's so.
Right, but you could have just, spent,
I should have.
He could have spent $1,000.
Oh yeah.
Had it all done at once.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, the way we're looking at it now, like this was the first time that he's done this. In the future, you probably won't ever do it again, but we would all know that if you were to do it or if I were to do something like that, we would take that extra step now because we just.
But again, I mean, that's why I did what I did, was because I had a 225 on it. I got the motor for next to nothing, knowing I was going to sell the 225 for something.
It's just glue snippers.
So, accept the risk of it might not be perfect. And
How much did you
might,
get for the 225?
I got like $1,500 for it.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean, I'm $1,500. I'm
You're
$1,500
$1,600 into the motor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if it has problems, it has problems. Like it is what it is. So
It'd be nice to eliminate those problems before you have to go out for fishing season, though.
Well, that's why it's at the shop now.
Right.
And realistically, like my whole April, I'm not fishing any in April, which sucks. Just because work and I'm going out of the country a couple times. It's just I'm not fishing in April. So I know I'm not really losing anything because it's not like I could be out there anyway.
Johnny, what's going on? How's Vermont? Did you guys board today? So I was hoping to be up in Vermont boarding today. The plans just didn't work out, and that's totally okay. I'm having a good time here with you guys. But how's Vermont, brother? I hope the snow up there is good.
Joshua Craig, John, she doesn't really love. John, just always remember she doesn't love you, and I promise the name and phone number she gives you is not real.
I mean, it could be. It depends on how good the Coke you have is.
Oh my god!
You have like a 10% chance, but there is a chance.
A place where red flags are encouraged.
Put it this way: if it's real, your credit score is about to drop drastically.
That's so true.
Like, your credit score just went from whatever it went to like sub 4s. So just do not.
No, you got to do it once.
Andy says if they can't figure that thing out, you let me know. Andy, I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
I really do. I do appreciate that. Seriously, that's that. It definitely, and I will say with this whole bullet build from day one to today, there has been a ton of people who have been very willing to help. Morgan Oliver has been very helpful. Obviously, John and his crew at JCS. Andy's been super helpful. Morgan Crawford, who's been
he's a local.
Yep, me and him been talking about it a lot. There's been a lot of really. Tyler. Yep. There's been a lot of people that have been very,
you keep
very
confusing me when you call him Morgan because I know him as Tyler.
I didn't know he went by Tyler until recently. But there's been a lot of people that have been very helpful, and I really, really appreciate that.
Want real numbers? Cocaine gets the hookers.
Oh, dear.
This is going downhill.
He's only 15. Take it easy.
It's 50 degrees and sun on the slopes today. Felt like the beach. And there you have it.
Hell yeah, man. That is freaking awesome. Except you're surfing the snow.
Right.
Little snow surfing. Like it.
Awesome. Well, hey, we hit our 300 comments.
Hooray.
Let's go.
Nice.
And beyond.
It's time to go fishing.
Yeah, it's time to go fishing.
And by that I mean it's time to go home and hook up the boat so I can go fishing tomorrow.
Right. So we're getting to that point. Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thanks to everybody.
This episode will now be titled Hookers and Blow.
And there you have it. But
John, if you're up there in Vermont, drink a beer for me, brother, and enjoy the slopes. Thank you.
But hey, thanks for joining us, guys. We really, really appreciate it. A huge shout out to JCS Marine, UMA Lures, Bass Munitions, Taylor Lures, East
Team
Coast
Marine.
Ivy, Team Marine, Propeller Dynamics. You guys really help us out, and we appreciate y'all joining us every week. So
I kind of said it a little bit earlier, man, but we absolutely love what we do on the show. We do this every single Friday night because of you guys. You guys make it completely worth coming on here and doing this every Friday night, talking to you guys. We have some of the best connections in the industry, and you guys are awesome. We cannot wait to talk with you guys next week.
Oh, crap. A wild Jason Stevens appeared.
nice.
Jason got on earlier.
Oh, I didn't see him come out earlier.
Guys, I'm going to be out of the loop for a couple weeks. So if I don't see you, I hope you all have a good time and tight lines, and I'll be back when I can. But I'm going to be getting busy here from next week up until May.
Yeah,
actually middle of May, almost June. So I might be a little bit of a hiatus here for the next couple months. It's just
Get a lot of travel.
It is what it is, brother.
Yep, that's how it is. Right. Well, appreciate